Death is as sure for that which is born, as birth is for that which is dead. Therefore grieve not for what is inevitable. You live as if you were destined to live forever. No thought of your frailty ever enters your head. Of how much time has already gone by, you take no heed. You squander time as if you drew from a full and abundant supply, though all the while that day which you bestow on some person or thing is perhaps your last. Death smiles at us all. All we can do is smile back. It is not death a man should fear, but rather he should fear never beginning to live. Choose to die well while you can. Wait too long, and it might become impossible to do so. The hour of departure has arrived, and we go our separate ways. I to die, and you to live. Which of these two is better? Only God knows. Do not act as if you had 10,000 years to throw away. Death stands at your elbow. Be good for something while you live, and it is in your power. Since every man dies, it is better to die with distinction than to live long. No one knows whether death is really the greatest blessing a man can have, but they fear it is the greatest curse, as if they knew well. Stop whatever you're doing for a moment and ask yourself, am I afraid of death because I won't be able to do this anymore? No evil is honorable, but death is honorable. Therefore, death is not evil. But death and life, honor and dishonor, pain and pleasure, all these things equally happen to good men and bad, being things which make us neither better nor worse. Therefore, they are neither good nor evil. Let us prepare our minds as if we had come to the very end of life. Let us postpone nothing. Let us balance life's books each day. The one who puts the finishing touches on their life each day is never short of time. Life is pleasant. Death is peaceful. It's the transition that's troublesome. You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think. The fear of death follows from the fear of life. A man who lives fully is prepared to die at any time. Perfection of character is this: to live each day as if it were your last, without frenzy, without apathy, without pretense. To study philosophy is nothing but to prepare oneself to die. Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Don't be trapped by dogma, which is living with the results of other people's thinking. Don't let the noise of others' opinions drown out your own inner voice. And most important, have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. They somehow already know what you truly want to become. Everything else is secondary. It is a curious thing, the death of a loved one. We all know that our time in this world is limited, and that eventually all of us will end up underneath some sheet, never to wake up. And yet it is always a surprise when it happens to someone we know. It is like walking up the stairs to your bedroom in the dark and thinking there is one more stair than there is. Your foot falls down through the air, and there is a sickly moment of dark surprise as you try to readjust the way you thought of things. I must die. Must I then die lamenting? I must be put in chains. Must I then also lament? I must go into exile. Does any man then hinder me from going with smiles and cheerfulness and contentment? We cannot, after all, judge a biography by its length, by the number of pages in it. We must judge the richness of its contents. Sometimes the unfinisheds are among the most beautiful symphonies. Death is a stripping away of all that is not you. The secret of life is to die before you die, and find that there is no death. Bushido is realized in the presence of death. This means choosing death whenever there is a choice between life and death. There is no other reasoning. It is nothing to die. It is frightful not to live. Each night when I go to sleep, I die, and the next morning when I wake, I am reborn. Every man's life ends the same way. It is only the details of how he lived and how he died that distinguish one man from another. Do not use life to give life to death. Do not use death to bring death to life.
Greetings, Virgil person. How are you?
Greetings, Paul. Much love.
You as well, sir. Do you have anything going on today specifically?
Yeah, I'm working right now, installing some LVP in a construction house.
Fucking Mexicans, man. I'm telling you, you fucking white people are sitting somewhere right now. This kid's like what? He's like not even out of middle school, and he's like fucking planting trees. He's fixing houses. Okay, he's going to be a millionaire by the time he's 35, 40. He's going to have businesses, and, you know, you slaves are going to have little to nothing, and you're going to be happy, too. You're going to be on UBI, and you're going to love that shit. So salute to this young man for being out day after fucking day, changing his community, one home at a time, one tree at a time, one brick at a time.
Yes, thank you for that, Paul. Salute to you too.
You want to give your people out there a little bit of a message, La Raza?
A message?
Yeah, like, a wink and a nod message to them to let them know that, everything's on par. You're taking over. Soon there'll be no place for these white people because you folks are doing everything, right? As they say, stealing jobs that they don't want to do, apparently.
No, yeah, that's true. Usually when there's jobs where regular Americans, they don't want to do it because the pay's too low or it's just too garbage of a job, you will most likely find, if not melanated people, Hispanics doing it. So,
Dude,
y'all better step up your game.
How much pussy are you getting, man? You're like fucking young. You got that fucking good hair. You got that soft skin. You're like one of them, you're like one of them. He laughs. You're out here. You're fucking getting to it. Okay, you got skills and abilities. I got to keep you off the land, man. I can't have you around. You and Rob Cleveland are going to be a problem for me.
I mean, if I'm being honest, I don't really even though I do find a lot of women attractive and I feel the energy to pursue a lot of women, but in the same time, I've always naturally been kind of self-selective, a little bit like more, not like, a woman who has value, basically, not just physical value, but, more on what's the inside.
Right. Well, I can respect that. So you're not out here just fucking giving yourself away to anyone who'll have you. The man's asking, am I making a pass at him? I mean, he's an attractive young man. But don't embarrass me, sir. Not live on the air. I'm just saying, though, someone down there said he's a Mexican with green eyes. You don't find that too often. White women are into that. So, okay. In translation, here goes the drama queen. This is the problem. It's the problem with a lot of you drama queens. You named yourself that. He just told you. You see, a lot of you broken little girls out there can't figure out that sometimes a young man like this has a good heart, a big heart, and rather than you nurture that and maybe help him in other areas, you want to try to insult him in his ego. So if he's not getting any play, it's not because he couldn't. He's choosing to do what he's doing with his life at this time is what I'm seeing from him. So, maybe this one's always mad. She's always mad. She's in my chat all morning, just yelling things at me from a chat box. Hey, why'd you do this? Why'd you do that? How come you won't talk to me? She's putting links down to some StreamYard. I don't know what the fuck she's talking about. It's a crazy person. So don't listen to these drama queening Jezebel harlots who got ego issues. Talking to... How old are you again, sir? Hello?
Yeah, I'm sorry,
Hello?
Paul. You're breaking out real bad because over here.
How old are you again?
In the woods. This is a big. Oh, I'm 21.
Right. So this is like a 21-year-old kid, basically. I get it. I'm not demeaning him. He's a grown man of age in a sense. But 21. Shit. I'm 34 and I'm still growing up in certain ways. Growing out, I guess you could say. Yeah. I don't know, what's the point of you all, talking shit to some 21-year-old young man's ego. God forbid he's not running around town and trying to fuck anything that walks. You all want that, right? The goofy bitches. You all want him running around town at the bar and the club, running up his fucking credit, trying to trick, or stimp on you goofy bitches. And meanwhile, he's planting trees, he's working, he's doing his own thing. So he'll meet somebody at some point and they'll have mutual respect, right? Polyamory or not. I don't demean anybody for, focusing on one being at a time. In some ways, I'm doing that, right? So, yeah, at some point, hopefully he has a head on his shoulders to not get caught up. But he'll meet somebody, and there'll be a mutual respect and trust, and there'll be an understanding. There'll be a relationship. So, why we have to feel the need to project something on the men and women, one way or the other, to feel something about our identity and journey is kind of beyond me. But I guess it's more chimp and ego games. That's why we're doing the proper instruction motivates people. We're pimping to stop the chimping. See, it says it right up there today. Hashtag hug a beta. There's beta males and beta females. Low value males and females. All right, just go around town throwing their dick and box at anybody walking. It's not how that works. So, don't mistake me up here pimping and macking sometimes, playing, flirting, throwing it around, vibing, with some of the females, as they say. Don't mistake that for me necessarily being out and about at all, and trying to put up numbers. They make fun of me because Paulie was a virgin until he was 26, whatever. A man can't be a virgin. We went over this. And they say, well, that's what virgins say. Your boy Cockbody, right? He's very clever. Yeah, it doesn't exist. 72 virgins, if you get blown up in the Islamic religion, doesn't translate to 72 guys. Or, half guys, half women. You can't be a man and be a virgin. That's fucking ego nonsense. In order to be a virgin, you have to have an intact hymen. So, Drew, I don't think your hymen has ever been intact. I think you're penetrated very young and abused and used. And that's why hurt people hurt people. So, yeah. Any other thoughts before we get to breaking slave news? And then at the end of this, I think I'm going to play a video that I did with a woman. I don't think I ever posted it on any of my channels. It came up in the list today when I was looking through shit. So I figured I would just play it if folks wanted to see it at the end. Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe I'll just download it and then re-upload it on one of the channels. I don't know yet. We'll see how it goes. Your thoughts in general, your thoughts on my thoughts, your own thoughts on the chat's thoughts, or just maybe even some feelings. Talcott says feelings are the most important thing in this reality. So if you got some of those, you can share those.
At the end of the day, I saw someone saying that, and like you were saying too, as long as I have discernment, I do know what you mean, because I've had I wouldn't even say badly, but some of my family would just take advantage of me because of how caring and giving I am, and I've actually learned already over the years to limit that and to prioritize myself and to make sure that whatever I'm doing, make sure the purpose is bigger beyond me. And it's a win-win for everyone, not just me. So it's not selfish. It's not entitlement. And that's what keeps me going to, not stop, because the vision is bigger. It's beyond me. It's for everyone. And even if I have children, not say I am, but I would consider that once I'm older.
Oh, yeah, that's why you're here, because see, that attitude guarantees success. And then, these goofy bitches will get in their feminine ego sometime. There's ego on both sides. They'll say, oh, this guy's selfish. He's prioritizing his own peace, his own empowerment, his own investment back into himself and his vision. No, that's what makes a man a man. Any goofy bitch that doesn't want that doesn't want to be with a man. They want to be with some simping, tricking fuckboy, right? That prioritizes a woman's attention and feelings over his vision, his heart, his understanding. Like you just said, the real reality of it is, despite what they want, they don't know what they need. A lot of them, you can't be happy as a woman unless a man does what that man just explained. So you could talk all the shit about him being 21 and not getting no play. I bet you at some point, the more and more successful he is in different areas, including financially, he's going to have no problem getting play from a bunch of goofy bitches, but he probably ain't going to want that or know he doesn't need that. So, I've had these discussions with women. They will get it if you can explain it to them why you do what you do. And if they don't understand it or don't want to understand it, they really don't care about you. And they don't understand a relationship that's going somewhere. Like I always say, there's no man throughout history that would prioritize a woman over his vision if he was successful or a great man. Any successful great man that you go and look at that we talk about today, that wasn't just like every other mediocre Jim Bob, around the suburbs you see nowadays. They didn't do that, right? Successful men, great men, prioritize principles, right? First and foremost, who and what they're going to be and not going to be, logic, morals, and ethics. And they prioritize their vision, and they prioritize the goals that they set and hit. And whatever time is left over, they spend that with folks who they want to spend that with, because their time is their most valuable asset. Can never get that back. Everything else is replaceable. Few folks do we meet who meet one woman or one man and stay with him forever. Oh, this is the most valuable. Okay, fine. It doesn't usually happen that way. But one thing we know is, logically, our time is our most valuable thing in the physical realm, the worldly realm, because you can't get that back. So I don't care if it's 2-3 hours a day. I don't care if it's every couple weeks, whatever the timeline is. Time is an illusion on one sense, in one arena, you could say, because like Talcott says, all we have is the now. But what you put your time, energy, attention on will show who and what you're going to be and what you're going to get and have access to. So it's a little bit of in the world, but not of it, if that makes sense. We have to have that understanding that, again, from what I've seen, I'm not going to tell anyone else to do. From what I've seen, there's ego on both sides. We don't come from that space. We say if a woman is going to respect herself and respect me and see me as a leader or just a stand-up guy, I have to be that being they could look to and say, well, I respect that. I look to that. I defer to that. I trust that. That being prioritizes his vision and his understanding. And when he explains it, it gives me and others more understanding and more vision and more purpose and more meaning and more inspiration. It's a back and forth, it's a nurturing cycle. If we don't have that, two dead batteries can't start the car. You got men running to work, working their balls off to try to provide for my women, my children, prioritizing what they think is supposed to be the most honorable and ethical thing. They give all their time, energy, attention, life, investments away, right? Instead of doing it from within, bringing it outward, and then seeing the blessings and the grace and opportunities that then you can share with the family and other folks. So again, I'm not down on hard work by any means. You have to have an ethic in this world if you want to be successful. If you want to have, you have to do to get. If we're going to be in the world and not of it, you still got to live in the world. If you want to get, you got to do to get. The question is, what are you putting your time, energy, attention on? What are you giving your most precious resources from within away to? And whose vision are you working toward, right? Are you minding your own busyness or are you minding someone else's? What is that now down there, sir? Okay. We're off to a rousing start. Did you see how that works, young man? You see, when we're like in that energy and in that flow, and you could just kind of feel it. We're kind of getting started up a little bit, and then you just feel that frequency kind of rising, and then, well, here we are. It's like every time.
That's a lot of dogs.
Yeah. This guy's quite the character. And again, I want to believe that whoever this is, we've seen this being before. I want to believe he has a good heart. He means well. He wants to do well in this life. I think everyone does. But we've seen some confusion in the past. We could put it that way. Seen a little bit of a confounding presentment, a little bit of a confusing presentment, but I don't hold that against that being. Right? Oh, okay. He's gone. Yeah, it's just, maybe I'm looking for patterns that aren't there, but it's the same pattern. I feel I'm in a flow. I have someone here who's like on the path to being successful, probably already successful in his peer group, out competing most people in a lot of areas, while they try to shit on him down there, all the people who should be the mamas, that have that cosmic motherly energy, like the cosmic fatherly energy, and they want to demean and shit on. I just love this game. And then, you know, as you raise the frequency and you start vibing high and start giving people that good game and reminding them who and what we are, what we're here to do, and inspiring, they start coming in. You know, they start coming in. They go, Paulie boy, we want the ring. We want the energy and the understanding for ourselves. Don't release it to the slaves. Right? They want to equalize. You know, and I get it. He's coming out of it. He wants out of it badly. It's better today. He didn't have his tinfoil hat on. He wasn't giggling and laughing and mocking like he was in control and in charge. He's just feeding the little puppy dogs. So, you know, he's on his way. He's coming out of it. The yellow skin is starting to clear up a little bit with him. The dark circles around the eyes are lightening up a little bit. So I'm thinking maybe the being has some blood running back through its heart. You remember like the Grinch's heart would expand like 2-3 times, and then it would get this different look on itself, this different countenance, and have a different like perspective on Whoville and all the people that it wanted to interfere with and control and dominate and enslave and divide from. Right. You know, this process is happening. So maybe that being got out of its hovel and walked somewhere and got some light and vitamin D. You know, like a lot of other folks might benefit from walking around with their like feet on the ground, getting some light.
Definitely,
you know,
some improvement.
Yeah, it's, you know, anything's possible. Nobody's irredeemable, I want to believe. And then you have days like you have, you know, pretty consistently here over the past months on the panel that kind of, you know, can interfere with that process of hope. Some folks might call it. I choose faith. Hope is as hollow as fear. So I try to live without fear, as the Talcottian one says, as much as possible, or at least go past it. And I try not to have too much hope. You know, hope leads to expectations. Expectations lead to suffering. No really need to hope. I just got to do the next right thing as it's apparent to me, surrender the rest, and I'll be where the fuck I need to be, even if that's 6 feet in the ground or in a jail box. You know, I don't do wrong. I don't cause loss, injury, and harm, and I pay all my debts. So I don't know any other way to live. Any other thoughts before we go to slave news, breaking slave news? It's crazy out there, okay? And you just stay safe, Virgil.
Yes, of course. It's wild here. There's been a couple shootings around here, like especially one where I live, like the past previous months and years, and it's crazy.
So are you armed, sir?
No. Oh yeah. Well, I got an AK, but I gotta return it because it's like registered, and I'll probably want to redo that process, you know, eventually.
Where do you live?
I live in Colorado Springs.
Oh, okay. I'll reserve my commentary for the time being. So Colorado's closer to as good as you're going to get when it comes to guns. No, I don't think they have registration. They don't have registration there.
Well,
they have background check.
Oh yeah, background checks. There we go. Yeah.
Yeah, there's no registration. Wow. They say there's no registration. I don't think that they necessarily keep logs on what's going on there. They're just checking the background to see if you can, quote unquote, own that type of property. And then whatever you buy, if you're using a public transfer, public storefront, it's going to be in their logs, right? So whoever, whatever, and again, you're not doing any wrong with any of that property. So, you know, to me, I can't tell you what to think and feel, but to me, as more and more as time goes on, you really can't tell me nothing because I have a track record and I have credibility to me, if no one else, you know, so I know who and what I am and what I'm not, and any property that I have has been just fine. So, you know, if something were to happen and I were to have to use that to defend myself, like I've said before, I'm not joking around. I have people who tell me, well, if something happens out here, we'll just leave them somewhere. I say, I ain't leaving nobody nowhere. Not today's day and age, as they say. I'm calling right up. Hey, it's Paulie boy. You might have seen me and heard of me. I don't know, but I got a slave out here. They say I joke about it, but I'm totally serious. Something happens, I'm calling them right up. I got a slave out here. It's either bleeding out or it's dead, and you need to come get it. Right? I'm not digging no hole and burying somebody. I ain't leaving, whatever. If I leave, I'm telling them. I'm calling them right away. They're not going to say to me, oh, we found some body one day and then we put it all together and you did it. You know, I don't need to live with that. I don't need to live with no secrets. If I didn't do no wrong, I'm going to be the first one to tell everybody. I'm going to be right on the broadcast. Hey, everybody, some slave came out here right as I'm on 911. You wouldn't believe it. Some slave came out here and tried to harm me, and I had to leave him there. Okay, and I'm going to tell them, come get him, and then we'll have a conversation. And I'll sit right in the room, and they can press record, and I'll say exactly what the fuck happened, and they'll let me right out of the room, or we'll go to trial, and they'll let me right out of there, and then I'm going to be cutting a ribbon at the local park. And they're going to have me right on CBS News. Say a local hero, slightly overweight, stopped a rabid slave who could have possibly, because I'm going to say this slave, there's no telling what it would have done. It's killing women and children. I had to put it down. And then I'll be right there giving that same speech on local news somewhere. And then I'll get to play that on the broadcast. That's how it's supposed to be. They want to call me a good citizen. I don't care what they call me on public news. My documentation and my record speaks for itself with who and what I am. But you want to get on the camera and say, this good citizen, I'll sit right there like this. You know, so I'm not a rebel without a cause. I don't need to buck up to the system. I don't need to have problems with policy enforcement and military and the courts. I'm a man of honor and good standing. I have no problems with anybody in this realm. I'm a loving man. I live by God's law, and I suggest everybody else do the same. So when something happens, I'm going to say I'm an ordained minister. I'm ambassador of God. You know how I roll. I do an entertainment broadcast sometimes where a little bit of my cultural background kicks up, a little bit of my personality kicks up. And, you know, I front a little bit. I play some games. I pimp and mac. I ego trip. But when we get back down to who and what I am, the conviction in my heart and what I do and don't do, they know. Right? So I'm not worried about it. We're all going to have what we need to have to protect ourselves. If anything happens, you just let everybody know what it is. There's no reason to lie in this realm. I have no reason to lie. If you're lying, you're scared. The only time you lie is when you're scared of the truth. And I make a busyness out of pushing people and myself past fear of the truth one way or the other. So I got no reason to lie because I ain't afraid of the truth one way or the other. If that's the case, I could just not speak. I prefer not to speak on this. Greetings, Mr. Wizard. Have you had your medication for the day, for the morning, midday? Here he goes again. He's going to spend the whole summer torturing sea creatures. You're a piece of trash. Okay? It's white scum like you that are so privileged. You think you could just walk around the various waterways, pull shit out of it, consume it. I can't wait till they make some kind of code to stop all of you from living off the land and torturing these creatures. Go find a damn VFW hall or one of those soup kitchens and get some damn Campbell's soup from them. You have no right to be down at that waterway fishing for yourself and feeding yourself and torturing those sea creatures.
One of these days.
You got a license for any of that, pal?
Yeah.
I highly doubt it.
I had to make one for myself.
Oh, you got forged instruments, huh? Yeah,
No,
I knew it.
No.
You're breaking out. You're visually breaking up. All right. Well, you're breaking up visually, man. That's signal.
Yeah, I don't know why it did that.
Yeah, you might. If it keeps doing it, you might have to turn the camera off, but the audio might be straight. All right.
Find out. It's a new phone. I don't know much about it yet, so we'll find out.
All right. Let me go to the breaking slave news. And you're going to see an interesting thing go on today that I just kind of picked up on. It's like, I don't know. It's really weird. Like CBS and ABC and all them say there's no migrants, nothing. They show pictures of the border and it's just like a ghost town. And then Fox News and all the Republicans go, oh my God, these brown people are flooding in. What are we going to do? So it's almost like both sides are just bullshitting from their perspective based on what they want it to be true and how they want to influence the political movements and the ideologies of the slaves. So, yeah, you're going to see this. I didn't realize that I had this on here, and then I had two more later. But I'm going to show you the two more later to see what I'm talking about. But first, they're going to tell us about how a wedding party, these white people are angry now. Oh, boy. Man, we're going to get white people whipped up for this election season. Can you believe it, people? This wedding party lost their hotel rooms to migrants who are bused to the suburbs. Yeah, watch this.
Against New York City in the same day as migrants bust to the suburbs forced wedding parties out of this hotel. We're following the developments here at home and around the country nearly 24 hours after the expiration of Title 42. We thank you for joining us at 11. I'm David Ushery.
And I'm Natalie Pasquarello. We saw the long lines form today at official processing points in the South, where more than 10,000 migrants were apprehended along the border in the hours before Title 42's end. Now, as New York City prepares for the arrival of additional asylum seekers, Orange County is taking new action, filing 3 lawsuits in the same day to block the city from placing them in area hotels. News 4's Jessica Cunnington kicking off our team coverage tonight with the growing fallout.
Hectic.
Unbelievable.
With the wedding in almost a week, this Queens couple beyond stressed with a last-minute hole in their plans.
We have family coming from Ireland, England, Canada, Ecuador,
Japan.
37 rooms they booked at the Crossroads Hotel in Newburgh for their wedding.
You always know someone who's baited out when the woman just leads the whole conversation and he just chimes in. Japan.
Wedding guests next weekend, all canceled as dozens of asylum seekers arrived and moved in on Thursday.
And we figured that it would probably be a situation where they would be there, but we'd also be there and it would just be fine. When we called the manager, she basically verbally informed us that no, we've canceled all the blocks for the next few months.
The past 48 hours, they've been scrambling, telling their family and friends and working on rebooking while time is ticking.
Like if we had,
by the way, do you notice that he has the gray skin with the dark circles around the eyes? All of these monogamy boys have gray skin with dark circles around their eyes by the time they're in their mid-30s. It's something to behold, right? And you can see she's got this look on her face like, yeah, everything's just going well right here. You know, she's not really like happy. You look in their eyes and in their spirit, they're not really actually fulfilled and happy, but the woman's usually looks like they're liking what's going on until they get to a certain point, right? So I don't know, maybe I'm reading too much into this, but that's what I'm seeing. A lot of beta boys and alpha females.
Called them, they wouldn't have called us or emailed us.
Mind-blowing.
Gary Moretti and Deanna Mifsud are getting married on June 24th and had more than 15 rooms booked at the Crossroads. They called them this morning.
You're just going in circles because nobody wants to say anything.
No.
And then they just hang up on you.
On Friday, Orange County and the town of Newburgh filing lawsuits against New York City and the Crossroads and Ramada at Wyndham, aiming to block any use of the hotels as temporary shelters.
It's a complete mess, and the government has not been forthright and honest with us.
Some may not like it, but people can't say we're not communicating.
In response to those lawsuits, the mayor's office says it's reviewing its legal options and that right now we're asking Orange County to manage less than 1/4 of 1% of asylum seekers who have come to New York City, with New York paying for shelter, food, and services. The heated political back and forth continues while these two couples, who say they were also blindsided by Crossroads, they're staying positive for their special days coming up.
There's really no excuse for not communicating with us. What matters is that we're there and that our friends and family can see us there. So in a way, like, it's kind of brought home what's most important about the whole thing.
News 4 made multiple calls to Crossroads Friday evening. No one picked up. Jessica Cunnington, News 4, New York.
Another city is pushing back against New York City's plan to transport migrants to nearby suburbs. Yonkers says it welcomes the roughly 100 asylum seekers set to arrive in the coming days, but condemns what.
Well, there you go, and that's why you know what. Maybe this is the proper segue. This is how they do it in the business. I got it here somewhere, don't I? Don't I? There it is. There it is. Okay, so we got New York. We'll lead right into that. New York, where I'm from originally. New York, New York. Let's see. Yeah, it's becoming the Exodus state. Your thoughts before I move on to this? Sorry, gentlemen. I didn't mean to be rude. Your thoughts about migrants?
Well, when it comes down to it, all them hotels and motels, those are actually military installations meant for housing transients. So when they're starting to fill up the hotels and motels with the transients, they're actually following the law. Funny how that works.
So basically, you're saying, as always, that they're writing up codes and playing games and everything's working perfectly, but they're telling everyone it's like couldn't be worse.
Correct.
And in a way, they're right. They're lying, but they're also right. And this is why they're so genius. Because they are making everything worse or allowing it to get worse by cause and effect, stimuli. And then they go, oh my God, everything's getting worse. The system's not working, but it's actually working perfectly because everything is what they say it is. It's just you don't know what they're saying because I guess we can have the discussion over what is like Bill Clinton did with Monica Lewinsky. So when someone tells you something and you say you understand what it is, and then the results speak differently, someone in that equation is confused.
Very.
This is how court works constantly. 95% of people go in there and say, I understand everything that just happened. No, you don't. You don't understand any of it. I guarantee you don't.
Well, and to help expand upon that, when you go to court and you ask who the plaintiff is, they can't point to anybody. But when you ask who the plaintiff is, they point to you. It depends on what is, huh?
Right. Yeah. No, the plaintiff is a state of, so it's a corporate entity. And then that kind of throws a monkey wrench into the works because how is a corporate entity going to take the stand and testify? Little details like that. So, hold on. We have Jack Talcott here, part of the scandal now. Skidgate 2023.
Hey, what's up, Skid Mark, bitch?
Oh no!
Remember me? Remember last night you were bringing peace to the panel, and you wouldn't allow me peace, bitch. I was coming with peace, bitch, and you were talking to everybody but me. Yeah, how's that?
You fucking hilarious, man.
I am, ain't I, bitch? Skid Mark, bitch, huh? I was telling him last night. Paul brought up a perfect thing about coming to realism with your faults. And so when people talk about skid mark, you're supposed to take it up and shove it in their face. That's exactly what you should have done, you dumb bitch.
Hey, Wizard went all the way and said he has skid marks right now. So you no longer
right now.
Can't be mad about 6th grade if he's like a grown man and he's saying he has it right now.
Right here in public to show you, bitch.
Please don't.
That won't be necessary.
I think we've all had skid marks before.
We appreciate your enthusiasm. That won't be necessary.
I trust you. I accept your words.
No, you don't.
In this area, he trusts you implicitly, is what he's saying. It's not unconditional, but in this area, he trusts that what you're saying is true and correct.
I love you guys. Hey, is the sound okay?
Yeah, I'm going to edit because you're a bit loud on my end, but I'll take it down. Just keep doing what you're doing. How about that?
Sound sucks because I hear Jack.
Well, what about the wind? Is the wind picking up?
You're good to go, man. You're about as good as you're going to get outside.
Thanks.
I think it's raining too.
Hey, Jack, I'm going to go back to the wall and do some fishing real quick, but I just wanted to let you know, hey, fucker, I love you.
That's so strange. How does someone receive that? How do you receive that love?
Right? How do you resolve that? I mean, I know the love is there, but anyway.
That's what monogamy will do to you. You'll tell someone you love them while giving them the middle finger. That's why I'm trying to, I know Wizard says he has a companion. I know that there's a whole lot of love, as they say. It's in the air. It's all around. But that's what monogamy will do to you, man. You'll be saying one thing and feeling another thing and doing something else.
It drives you nuts. I don't think it's monogamy. I don't think it's monogamy that drives us nuts, but it's part of it.
Greetings, OTW dudes, also known as Patrick.
Greetings, Paul, also known as Lord of all media.
And the White Gorilla, don't forget that.
Agreed.
Hashtag stand up, hashtag trust me.
Hashtag proper instruction motivates people.
Right. Hashtag stop the chimping. Hashtag hug a beta. I mean, we could go on.
Hashtag
hey,
we are awake.
Yeah, hashtag we're half awake.
No, I said we are awake.
No, I know, but it's half awake, right? I guess that's the irony of calling yourself "We Are Awake" and then being half asleep.
You know what's ironic is just before you were mentioning how close to the 30s, these pale white skin with gray circle. See, I don't have pale white skin. I got a nice tan going here. Look at that. Check that out. That's
yeah. Well, I'm about as white as you get. And, when everything's going well, I turn this sort of red color. Oh, my throat chakra. I got this new coffee, man. It's like straight out of the hills. It's like puro uncut. It's like that,
Is that direct from Pepito?
Right. It's Pepito.
Gave you the private stock?
It's like a brown brick of heroin, man. This shit is the real deal. I got to cut it up or something. I don't know what to cut it with. Some lactose powder.
No. Use good Colombian Hills Brothers.
Right. Cut it up with the Hills Brothers. How many Hills Brothers does it take to cut up a cup of coffee?
Only 2.
Slice them thin.
Only 2.
How many Mexicans does it take to roof a house? 10 of them if you slice them thin.
2.
That's morbid, Talcott. I saw the face. That's morbid.
He was excited.
Jack, I mean, you're really white. I mean, are you getting some sun right now? Yeah, you are white. He's really white, man. How come the sun isn't affecting you? How come you're not changing color?
I'm kind of surprised he's not burning right now. Burning in the light. I was starting to think Talcott was a vampire, but now that has been put to rest. That is put to rest. Vampire Gate is over.
No, he just has some SPF 1000.
Hey, Moose. What's up, dude?
I like Talcott outside.
What's going on, guys? How's everybody doing today? I'm just planting hundreds of plants.
Greetings, Moose person. Good to see you in good spirits today.
How are you doing, Emperor Lord Enslavius the First?
I'm doing well, sir. I'm always blessed. Fortune favors the bold, as you know, so the gods are shining down upon me. Their favor is shining down upon me. But I could use a good feet washing this morning. If you know anybody.
We know Talcott's not going to do it.
Well, he just popped his picture up real quick on that one, so.
Talcott, are you okay with feet washing? I'm not really into the feet thing, so I don't really like touching feet.
Yeah, Jack, you're gonna have to get closer to your hotspot. You're very choppy.
Yeah, we'll blur out your hotspot if you if it winds up on camera.
Moose, you're so bizarre. I wash my feet. Yes,
He's not
I
even
wash
talking
feet.
about that. He's talking about you washing his feet.
He's a capable man. He'll figure it out himself.
But Paul needs his feet washed.
That might be true. Is that what the topic was? I was moving around when
Yeah. I need someone to wash my feet.
They're a long ways away, aren't they?
Wait a second. Why are we interacting? I thought I was supposed to be nice the next time we interacted, and you were supposed to be silent. Like I was silent and you were nice, but not really nice. That was the agreement between us, so I'm just saying.
Where's the moose person today? What I don't understand. Why are you in and out, sir? We're still doing this 7 months later. This is why Talcott's got this look on his face right now. He can't even believe he gave you anything ever. He can't believe he let you be his producer. He just like, I tried to tell him. You know, they always say I'm rude and crude and lewd, and I'm always looking out for people and giving them the move ahead of time, and they go, could you believe what he just said? 4 or 5 weeks later, they're like, man, we should have listened. Now he just went off camera because he knows he's sorry he ever dealt with this slave. I tried to tell him. Moose is a good guy, though, right? That's what I'm going to say after all that. He's a good guy, but horrible personality, right? He's got a good heart, is what I mean. Good heart, but horrible personality. Obviously a beta. Can't manage his own life and affairs, and pretty much fucks everything up, including a Starlink setup. I thought Starlink was horrible. Look, he just came in and out again. Turns out I'm using Starlink now. It's like, it's not bad. I mean, I'm getting these crazy headaches, right? Again, which I think is from the radiation. He's in and out again. I don't know if you saw that. He's coming in and out. Moose, get it together, man. Call Elon. Get him on the phone. I hear he's a man of the people, so he'll work with your Felix expert panel on this Moose person. And then we got to get back to breaking slave news. There he is. Back.
He did bring some good things.
Wait,
I'm still using some of the stuff he brought.
Jack, you're a dishonorable man.
Whoa.
We had an agreement. I was silent for the entire thing the last time.
I don't care.
Because you're a dishonorable man.
Hey, there was no agreement for the next time. That was an act for back then. Now you're delusions.
No, the agreement pretty much. Please pull the clip so you can clarify your words.
Well, actually, you know what? I don't care what I said because I know what is true.
Don't.
And what is
I know you
true
don't.
is you do not control me, fool, and I do not care about your opinion. And the fact that
it's not
you
my
don't
opinion.
care,
It's your word that has no validity.
Yeah. So you want to believe. And if you want to present that case, that's fine. You want to take one thing out of context.
Well, you agreed to being silent.
Tell you what, present the
if I
evidence
agreed to
and
being
then I'll
silent
believe you.
and I was going to be nice as long as you were nice. You were not so nice. I was silent. So I held up my end of the bargain. And now you're telling everybody here on the open panel that your words mean nothing. So that's okay.
You might want to actually verify if you... Tell you what, you've made a claim against me. Present the evidence, because let's determine if both sides were upheld or not. You want to present the allegation? Well, let's discuss facts. Whoops.
Well, there were a few panel members on that their broadcast.
Is this the fact?
That is the fact.
No, okay, then gather the facts. Gather those who you believe, and let's discuss.
I was honorable, you were dishonorable.
Or how about this, Nubs?
I thought it was Loving Jack. What happened to Loving Jack?
How about we go back to the conversation that Paul was having? And
well,
get
the
it
one
off
that you
of
were supposed to be silent
your
for.
narrative.
Actually,
Well,
Jack, last night you were pretty mean to Max, right? Because he was disrespecting you in a sense, right? Well, I was trying to explain something to you, but so Jack, where was I gonna find you at today?
oh yeah,
Just like
yeah.
I said.
Okay.
So you won't let.
And so what does that mean to you then? You know, let's bring it back to the context where you brought it up. What was the meaning behind that?
So here's what I'm tired.
That is,
Here's what I'm tired of
fuck you!
I'm tired of hearing you whine about how Paul talks about you and how Paul treats you behind your back, and then you ride back on Paul's lap every day, just like I said.
It's because he is a dishonorable man, a man with that has no honor.
You think it's better to walk away with facts and claims unresolved? Is that what you're saying? You want to enable conflicts and disagreements, pretend they don't exist? That is the typical slave mindset. You know, people want to pretend that wars are not happening, that solutions are not available, and then they want to act like they're all fucking smart with one another. Hey, Max, you don't impress me, dude, and neither do you, Nubs. I really, you know, thanks for the fellowship. I'm going to shut up and you guys can talk and gossip like you want.
That's all I was asking for the front. That's it. That was the agreement from the get-go, is that you would sit up on panel being quiet and I would be nice. That literally was the agreement, the last panel that you and I were on this gentleman's page.
Okay, so now that I've started, are you going to change? Are you going to start being nice?
How have I been mean? For what crime am I being mean? I called you on your shit.
Okay, so now can we move on so that I can see
you be
this
silent?
supposed niceness you claim?
Can you be silent and honor your word? I sat up on panel with my face visible. I slipped up once or twice. You slipped up on being nice once or twice, so that was equal. You know, I'm not being mean, not being dishonest, not looking to do anything but call you on your word. You are an unhonorable man. You look to get out of the contract that you agreed to, and that's just dishonor as far as I'm aware. Do you have a different definition? I mean, it all depends on what the word is, right?
I'm kind of upset, Nubs, creature person. Last night, you know, you were like, hey, we got to go in the back and whatever. And I would have rather you told me all that on air. You know, how inspiring.
Well, I had secret nothings for you. And, you know, I mean, it was just a private moment.
All right. Well, then I guess I won't talk too much about it. It's just that sometimes these people need to see, you know, regular people like Nub, like work hard and, you know, kind of have to rise on his own from the bottom.
Well, that part of the conversation, I have no problem. The only part of the conversation is that one part that's happened before. If that makes sense.
Right. Yeah.
So the rest of it, yes, I have no problem speaking about that, where I had said that you have inspired me to do better for myself by the things that you have said. You know, to really buckle down and be disciplined about your life, you know, those kinds of things, beneficial things. Because it benefits me, it benefits society, it benefits my family directly. You know, being able to be honor-able and be in agreement with the contract, even with somebody that doesn't necessarily like me.
I
And
gotta
being
stop you because Jack is like kind of disagreeing with you there. He's doing his hand puppet, which I love. It's the Talcott hand puppet. He's basically saying that you're yapping, and I would go even further. Talcott, are you saying a lot of these people are acting like bitches today? They're just yapping their trap, and he's thumbs upping. We see it. Everyone's acting like bitches today, and hoes. They're gossiping. They're yapping. They're in their feelers. What's the problem with Talcott all of a sudden? All right, what's the deal? What happened last night?
I didn't say anything.
One night, Daddy's gone, and all the children are fighting and at each other's throat. Then I just go on vacation for one night, and they not come back to a destroyed house? Everyone fighting.
Well, see, here's what happened: is you never taught this one discipline, nor did you teach him honor. Or maybe you did, and he just never picked up on it.
No, you're right. It's never been shown. Self-discipline and self-honor.
Self-discipline to be honor-able within a contract would mean that you would be silent regardless of your thoughts or feelings.
I'm seeing it right there. The lack of self-respect and honor that is...
I'll respect somebody that's honor-able. You are, in fact, dishonor-able.
You're a fool.
Your ad hominems mean nothing when it comes up to the fact that you have been dishonorable in our agreement.
One should look at oneself, don't you think?
Absolutely. I found that I was able to be quiet for 98 to 99%, less than what you have spoken this time. So yes, I am able to receive honor for being honorable to my contract with you, or the agreement. I am not being mean. I am just merely calling you on the terms of the contract. And if that is mean, well, then we have different definitions of contract as well.
You're boring. Here, I'm going to go back to the ad hominem you rejected, which was you are a fool, because your claim of perfection... In the
contract, I am absolutely correct.
You believe you're perfected. Perfect. You're creating claims against me. I said I'm happy to review the evidence, and yet you present no honor.
You don't remember the contracts you signed?
Signed? You signed. You're a fucking clown.
By verbal
imagining
agreement.
Things.
By verbal agreement, we had a verbal contract.
It's been fun. I'm bored with this. And if you want to
No, you're triggered by this because you have no honor. And you're going to run because you have no honor.
Let's refocus, people.
It's boring.
Calcott's bored with your fucking claims. Bored with your, like, assailing him. You know?
Pointless. There's no purpose.
You're right. It is pointless. It is pointless to attempt to show a man that has no honor any honor.
Only you can stop creating arguments against me.
Only you can prevent forest fires as well. Smokey told me that.
Oh dear. You blaming me for forest fires? You're a fucking delusional clown, dude.
You saying Talcott starting those wildfires out on the West Coast?
No, I said only you can prevent forest fires like Smokey the Bear. If we're just stating general facts.
It's not Smokey the Bear. That's a Mandela effect. It's Smokey Bear now.
Oh, Smokey Bear, whatever. Same difference.
Paul,
there's
no
change.
Wonder there's slavery. It's
well,
no
this
wonder
is
there's
what I say every day,
genocide.
Talcott. Like, this
No
is
wonder there's prisons.
Because there's lack of discipline.
Asylums, right?
Yep.
This is what we're looking. We're getting a hardcore front row seat every day to remind us that there's nothing we can do about the slavery. Right?
Paul,
We'll just do better ourselves.
If I'd have known this years ago, you know how fucking wealthy I could have been? Oh,
no, you could not have been. You have no discipline.
No one would have been there to
Weapons
do the work for you,
manufacturers.
Jack.
I'd have been invested in prisons. I've been promoting the
best
fucking
time
police.
to plant an apple tree is 20 fucking years ago, buddy.
Talcott's having a breakthrough. Like, this is what I went through a while ago. He goes, if I'd have known now what I knew back then, I'd have gone right to DARPA and told them how to
Isn't
make the
that
next
what half of
slave
country
laser
music is about?
the next race bioweapon, right? To just take out all certain slaves from a certain class.
Country music
He's
about
to go postal. You better leave Talcott alone, man. This is heavy shit. I went through this a long
I know
time
the
ago.
zip codes.
Putting everyone through it on the metaverse, and this is what it might turn into. He's going to go the other way. He's already trying to contact Klaus. He might be in contact with the UN. If you keep playing with him, he's going to go work with DARPA on race-specific bioweapons to eliminate people like Nubs and the rest of you folks.
I need to figure out a Nubs annihilation weapon.
I'm going to go volunteer my time and talents to those who want to reduce the population.
You have time, but talents are questionable.
I think it's time.
I'll tell you what,
Dark Talcott rising.
Jack, I'll tell you.
The tyrant comes out now. It's like now we see him for who he is.
Hold up. You want me to let you alone? I will make you an agreement. I will forever let you alone without ever saying a goddamn negative or disrespectful word or whatever. You become accountable for 30 things, and I'm talking major things. You be disciplined to follow through on 30 major things in the next 30 days, and we can establish that list at a later point in time.
Hey, Mr. Gates, can I offer an opinion on some heavy metals and poisons you might want to add to that spraying machine that I see up there?
Hey, no shit. I've been studying health, so I can bring a lot of different perspectives to their fucking work.
You study health. That's like, oh, that's funny. Are you studying mental health as well?
I've clearly explained my studies in psychology and consciousness and sociology.
Well, I'm looking for that personal experience.
Yeah, look within.
Yes, I have lost it all, and I got it back. You're right.
There was the bomb there.
That's absolutely true. When I realized that I was losing things like my family, and I had lost my family, I turned it around and I came back and I said, you know what? I need to be a better man. And now that relationship with my child, great relationship because I turned it around. So I do look within before I look externally.
Dude, Talcott's embodying the Tao completely today. You expand, he contracts. You contract, he expands. Right?
Well,
he is deep and dark, but also bright because you let him be. He's
bright as the morning star,
what
buddy.
I bring here daily. He's adding heavy metals and poisons to the chemtrail sprayer. Take care of the rest of you slaves. He's on to it now with no more false guru bullshit. We're getting right down to it.
Right.
We're getting right down to it. Real world, on the ground spirituality. I like that.
Well, hey, and Nubs, regarding what you just said, congratulations. I believe you may have done some work, but I encourage you.
Do you know the word but negates what you just said?
Yeah. Well, fine. Ignore the good that I said and listen to what I'm about to say.
If you negate it, you literally just said, basically, it's kind of like walking up to your son and saying, hey, buddy, I really love you, but...
Hey, Nubs, you're right.
It doesn't work.
You're right. I was giving... Here, let me admit my guilt, my sin. I was giving you credit for what I assumed and what you have not shown me. I was assuming you've made a lot of growth, but the but is that you do not show it in my experience, and I am encouraging you to go within a little further, okay? Because
I get it in all the way.
Head in the ass? I'm sure. I'm sure you do.
Bazing!
I'm encouraging you to pull the head out of the ass and go within your heart and
I'm encouraging you
to
be honorable and, be silent.
And I'm witnessing you deflecting your mind from my words so that you don't
My mind is clearly on words of something that's not supposed to even be said.
Right.
So it's not really deflecting. It's actually just going back to the original contract that we made.
Hey, move past. Remember there was...
No, I can't move past until you fulfilled your end of the bargain. Otherwise, I get gypped in the contract.
But, hey, actually, let's go back to different things. We don't always have to...
We need to address this contract. It wouldn't... Am I wrong here? I mean, the terms of the contract were silence for silence, kindness for kindness.
Here. Hey, Nubs, there's several other people involved here who I care about. So
well, that's the point. There were definitely several people that I cared about as well.
I have an idea.
But I had an agreement.
Nubs, let's talk about the fact that we are all a little bit more tan than Jack. How about that? And he's
I'm definitely more tan. It's from working outside.
Oh, is it that? Oh,
Well, it could be just simply working.
That could be too. Blood flow.
Yes, exactly.
Like I told Paul, I kind of screwed up and I built a retaining wall. Then I had to move it, and so I unbuilt it and then rebuilt it in a day. It was pretty interesting. It's work. It's hard work. It's ethics. It's morals. It's disciplines.
It's an excuse because you didn't do right the first fucking time. Why didn't you do it
You're
right
right.
the
I
first
didn't do it
time?
right because I didn't measure.
You didn't just ask and it was done?
No, it was not. I actually had to think it out, and then I had to be accountable for my actions and rework things, because that's what grown men do. When they get knocked down, they get back up again.
Hey, what's your channel, Nubs? I need to learn.
I'm not even on. I'm just me. Like that's like I don't have a channel. I'm not like famous Jack.
Yeah.
Hey, actually, that story of starting over, accepting responsibility, doing it right, dude, my life's full of that. I've started over and regrouped and corrected myself from so many things.
I can tell.
Yeah.
Many times you've started over because you didn't learn the lesson the first time. It's a common occurrence in humanity.
Well, that.
We've all known that you've been looping for quite a while.
Yourself. Well, no, actually, the looping is your experience.
Because that's what was done.
No.
Is it not everybody's experience that we've all seen the
dear
looping?
Lord, there you go with your blame. You just gotta find a blame because you can't have any responsibility, can you, Nubs? Oh my God, you've just got to be right. Oh, fucking insecure bitch, man.
Talcott's all over everyone today.
Seriously, I am about ready to get off and figure out how do I get a hold of the UN and tell these fuckers to hurry it up?
Jack, Wizard's been there all week, bro.
Speed up the process.
Yep.
I'm a driving force, Jack.
You are proving yourself to be not only worthless but an impediment to progress.
What progress? The progress of success? The progress of discipline? Because I do believe that's what I'm talking about.
You are an impediment to progress. You are looping on your opinions. We could move on to
looping on a
different
contract that you agreed to that you're miserably failing in.
There you go again.
Absolutely, because you didn't
You're
fulfill.
fucking
We'll have to try it next time.
Does anyone else have an opinion? I mean, what's the resolve?
I have an opinion. I may have a resolution, actually. Jack, we have to turn Groundhog Day off. Seriously, man.
Okay, so actually, let me put the pieces together. I should leave and never come back to Paul? And keep Paul away?
No, not at all that. How about from today forward, we finish a day and we don't say, fuck you, I'm never talking to you again. How about we just say, I can't wait to see you again tomorrow, brother. How about we try that today? Like on a serious aspect.
All right, here. I agree. Hey, brother, I agree completely. So here, any comments to encourage Paul not to frustrate me so much every fucking day? Yeah. Any encouragement for him to do better?
What I do now? I haven't done anything.
Deflector.
You just sit there and be silent. You haven't even said anything.
Listen, Jack, the past 3 days in a row, Paul has presented himself.
No, this is bullshit, man. I'm not letting this go through what you just did now. I was with you till then. Okay? Now, I want to know why Moose made this fucking video.
Is that who made it?
I want to know.
Yeah, I'd like to know that as well.
Why the fuck
I'd
did
like
he
to
make
know
this
why
video
Paul
when I
decided.
play it?
I'd like to know why Paul continues to show it and display it.
Yeah, so I
wonder why Paul continues to be the man.
those who make excuses, jump in.
I'm gonna catch shit for
make
what they're all doing.
excuses,
And
whatever
I'm
it is.
always the bad guy. When in the
Hey,
clip,
Paul, you're
I
the
don't
one who hit play. You're the
in
one
the
who's
clip,
bringing this
I'm
up
not
right
even.
now.
I'm not
Was
even
it because you were
laughing.
too
I'm not
lazy
part
to
of it
wipe,
in the,
or
in
was
the
it because there
actual
was an
moment.
actual like
I tell
problem with
Moose
your
he's a
health?
skid mark,
Because I can
and
get
everyone
over the
forgets
problem
about
with
that.
your health.
So
The
now I'm
laziness
bad
factor is
for
kind of
sharing
shown
what
itself
they're all
throughout your
doing
whole
and
life.
playing. I'm the
For
facilitator
those who
every
don't
time,
know,
and I
Moose
catch
keeps
all the
bringing up
rap of
this
what everyone
skid
does.
mark
I don't get any of the
because I
credit
shared a
for the
story
good
from
shit,
when I was
but
a
I catch all the
child.
rap of what everyone
And when I
does and
was a
feels.
child,
Hey, Paul, what
I
credit
grew
do
up
you
in a
give
very,
me?
very poor
Being a
give you
loving
all the
man
marks.
and forgiving
laundry
and
and
coming
stuff
back
like
every
that
day.
wasn't a top
Right. I
priority.
get all the
And so
insults and all the
growing up
abuse
as a
and
child
none of
without
the credit.
all the
I get all
benefits
the
for a
blame,
period, I
all the
also
blame
had
for
a
everyone's
case of
fucking opinions,
undiagnosed
don't
but
I?
obvious worms
If
within
they're
Right?
my
opinions,
intestines.
they're opinions,
And
and they
so
shouldn't
I
affect
had
you.
a
But
lot of
if they're fact, they should affect you.
shut up so I
Well,
can
what
answer
about the
your
fact
clown
these
ass
opinions
question.
keep interrupting my fucking day?
This story that you want to keep
If you show up to the fucking barber shop, expect to sit down and get a haircut, you dumbass.
So it's my fault once
Yes.
again for existing. And so since I exist,
No,
and since
because
I
you
share
show up here and
space,
because you let certain people on your panel, you're asking for whatever they're willing to give you. And if they
okay,
give
so
you,
all right, so Nubs.
So I had to go
So Nubs, is your
well,
suggestion
go,
that
no. Let me see the fear. Let me see the fear that I'm supposed to see, Jack. Go ahead and yell at me. Let me see that rage, buddy.
realm like a fucking
No,
ignoramus.
I want to
He
understand.
didn't bother his neighbors. He didn't want to yell too loud and disrupt the neighborhood.
That's right. I actually consider others, and I try to be aware of my current.
You try. You do a lot of trying, Jack. Do you know
Right,
what trying
Nubs,
gets
you've
you?
always got a fucking opinion, and you don't give
No,
a
this is
shit.
fact. This is not even me.
It's
This
a
is fucking
fact.
Yoda.
I thought it, so it's a fact.
No,
You're
it's
a
not
fucking
my
clown.
words.
You are a
Yoda
fucking
said,
clown, dude.
don't try, just do. When you try,
Hey,
you set
dumbass.
up for
Blah,
success
blah, blah.
in
Blah,
a
blah.
manner that is not successful.
Nubs, just because you have a mouth doesn't mean you have to fucking use it.
Actually, it kind of does.
Oh my God. Yes, you've always got to be right.
No.
Can you consider what I'm saying? You've always got to be
When
disagreeable.
you have a
don't
track
you?
record that you can actually,
Hey, Nubs.
not
Hey,
just
Nubs.
talk about, I'll actually take your opinions into consideration.
Actually, dumbass, why don't you consider the information you're ignoring?
What information am I ignoring?
Yeah, what information are you ignoring?
weighing
You keep
350
bringing up
pounds.
only disagreements and your opinions,
And
but
in
I'm
this
not
corner,
hearing any
weighing
facts.
approximately 150 pounds, all wet, Jack Talcott.
No, I'm 150 pounds
Answer
soaking
the
wet
question,
through and
Nubs.
through.
Answer the question. What information, if I'm telling you you are wrong, what information might you suspect you are ignoring?
All of the information that I have ever came to you with is from your mouth.
That's untrue.
What except for the skid mark.
Okay,
That
so,
Moose
all
told
right,
me.
So Nubs, then let's run with what you said. Okay, all the information you consider came from my mouth, so you ignored everything I have not said or that you have not heard.
Well, how could I ignore what you have not said if you have not said it?
You assume you know enough of me for you to judge
know what
me
you've
on
told
my
me.
track record.
I know what you've told me. I know
What
that when
are
you came up and
ignoring
you were
then?
like, I was a
Nubs.
horrible
Hey, Nubs.
father, I was
Hey,
this, I
Nubs,
was that.
bullshit. Those aren't my words. You're a twisted motherfucker.
Oh, am I?
Yes, you are.
That's a paraphrase. They are not exactly your words.
Right,
But you
Nubs,
came
you
up.
are a gaslighter and a
You came up and you were
have been
talking about
fucking
how you needed
lying
help to get in
me,
touch with your
and you have
child.
been lying about me, and you will come correct one day.
Oh, I will.
And you
I
will
am coming to you
recognize
correct
your
right
own
now.
shame.
Ladies and gentlemen,
You
I am coming to you correct.
recognize your shame, I assure you.
What shame is that, sir?
You'll figure it out, motherfucker.
I am a motherfucker. And there again, still, let's loop back to the original agreement where you would be nice and I would be silent. I was silent,
Right,
and you were
broke.
Yeah,
You
you're
broke.
broken in your covenant. So
You
you
broke
have no
all
honor
rules of
in this
civility.
situation. Where
Hey,
do I have?
Nubs.
That's personal
Hey,
experience.
Nubs. Tell you what, I would love to fucking see you face to face right now.
I don't think you would. I don't think you would, buddy.
Are you sure?
I worked for the
Actually, no,
post
you're
office
right.
too.
You're right, because if I saw you face to face right now, I'd be filled with fucking regret in about 10 minutes.
Oh, yes, you would. And it would not take 10 minutes.
Hey, Nubs, here's something I want you to consider. I said you'll feel your shame, and I trust that you will, but you will not until you become honest. And
Honest about what?
until you start to care about what is true,
And what is true?
continue.
Integrity? Integrity is true. Discipline is true.
This
One of the things that I have said is not true.
What is true right now is you are offering disrespect by interrupting.
This is not being disrespectful. This is speaking truth. I am agreeing with you that truth needs to be resounding.
And I am offering, actually, the truth I'm speaking is easily
accepted. The truth
accepted.
that you're speaking is not truth. It is your truth. And your truth and the truth are very different, just like my truth and the truth.
Hey, dumbass, you'll never know what I'm saying until you shut your mouth. Hey, Paul,
It's much
I'm
better.
done with the
You're
clown
much
show.
more
God
entertaining when you're
bless.
silent.
Hey, and Paul, if you show up tonight, it will be a place for respectful dialogue, not this bullshit that you allow
Well,
and
you'll
condone.
absolutely kick me out without a shadow
You're
of
not
doubt
allowed.
if I were even unblocked
You're
in the
not
first
welcome.
place.
You're not welcome.
All right,
That's
well,
why
we can't
I
just
wasn't
fight
planning.
and run every single fucking day, all day. We got to get to some resolution.
Hey,
Yeah,
Jack,
let's get to a resolution.
Talcott just fucking ran, and he said, if he sees you on the street, you're gonna have a problem, buddy boy. So,
Yep, I am gonna have a problem.
stay out of Spokane if you know what's good for you.
Right.
This is a drastic turn to the skid mark 2023 Skidgate.
Love, brothers. Love. How are we gonna end war?
Add this to the file system.
You know, for some reason, I just remember that contract that he and I signed right here on this panel between two grown men, where I sat there and I was silent. I had a feeling that I would not get the proper return on that contract. It was a bad investment from the get-go.
Well, you guys got to get resolution, man. We just can't have all this fighting and arguing constantly. It's out of control.
If he would just be honorable and just be quiet.
You didn't have to keep bringing up the skid mark thing, and people down there didn't. No, but people down there kept bringing it up too. You guys didn't have to.
So that was definitely me.
You guys were all doing that. Okay. I'm trying to facilitate a real conversation with Talcott, and you guys will never have it. Right? You guys are never willing to have a real, honest conversation about the facts. You just go off in your imagination, in your fucking opinions.
Much like the things that he's never said, you're ignorant to it.
We're training him. He's got to get to the UN. He's got to be able to deal with these panels before he can get to the UN. So it's all about training.
All right. Well,
I disagree. I think Paul likes Jack, and he doesn't really appreciate that he's always getting fucking bashed in, by everybody all the time. And I can read that from the look on Paul's face right now.
Yeah, I mean, me and Jack have our differences, but what just went on here was unsightly. It's shocking and appalling with you. Okay? Jack just fucking came completely out of his character, threatened Nubs creature, said he wants to see him face to face and really, tune him up a little bit. So, I may
or may not have been scared.
Keep playing with Talcott. You're going to be sorry. He knows a thing or two. Okay? Don't mistake his kindness for weakness. This is a problem in the world. With spiritual, loving warriors like Talcott, the more loving he is, the more you take his kindness for weakness. So one day, it just goes all bad for you. It's all bad. It goes all wrong. It's all bad. Stay away from him. Unless you want to help him to do whatever he's doing. Because
I agreed. I agreed to resolution. I want to see change. I want to see integrity. I want to see discipline. I want to see the best for him, legitimately and truly.
Well, this is why, Jack, I encouraged him to have his own panel and his own broadcast and show up every day, because he can't keep casting his pearls before swine.
Right.
How many days for months here he's shown up. I've tried to love him and work with him in certain ways. I've had my fun and games too. I think we've all have. But, you guys are just unrepentant. You're unrelenting.
Mm-hmm.
You're unrelenting.
Ruthless too, I'd say.
Right.
Determined.
Yeah, well, we're gonna have to have a change here soon. So maybe tonight, when Jack goes live on his broadcast, we'll all have a talk. We'll all sit down.
I'm not welcome there. I was told that very blatantly.
Well,
And
I'm
I
going
know
to
there's
advocate once again for an open and free platform and environment, and we'll see what you do with it. You and all the rest of the miscreants. We'll see what you do. Okay? I can't stop Jack from throwing me out, you out, everyone out, clearly. I mean, I got thrown out yesterday, and, I just left at some point.
I was there.
Yeah, and I hang in the back, right? I'm fine hanging in the back and listening, and I'm not too important to do that.
I write him sweet nothings on paper.
Right.
It's okay. He still gets my message. I can be silent and say more.
You're definitely not welcome tonight. Is what he's saying.
Yes, I'm definitely. And see, I know that if I walked into a barbershop and I was definitely not welcome, it's a little.
Yeah, well, you gotta look at that, right? If someone is loving and forgiving, as Jack Talcott says, you're not welcome there, pretty much indefinitely. You're just persona non grata. You gotta look at that.
Yep,
okay?
it's as if I don't exist
to make that happen, right? What do you got going on in your life?
What's that?
I'm saying you really got to look at your life. You got to take account.
Well, not spending time with Jack will free up some other time where I can actually improve my life, as opposed to attempting to tell somebody there's a fire alarm and then blatantly ignoring it.
Well, that's good. According to him, your life needs improvement quickly. So please.
I agree. I absolutely agree. I will, hands down, I will agree. Constant improvement is a necessary function in life.
All right, can we get to the damn okay, we went through this already, the fucking wedding party nonsense with the beta boys. Can we get
to the old face that gentleman gave us.
Yeah, I'm just so sick of these people. Just I'm sorry. And then they say, "Oh, you're disrespecting the audience." No, you're disrespecting me by presuming that my majority of this audience, not my audience, the majority of this audience is like these people. I don't presume that. That's why I get so disrespectful. I want to believe a lot of these people down here are real fucking men. Okay? Real men and women. So when I say, look at all these disgusting, filthy slaves, I'm not talking about the good, honorable, account-able men and women who want to do good, be good. I'm promoting his slogan now for some reason. I don't know why. Do good, be good, right? If you're going to do good and be good, regardless of everything else, we don't really have a problem. You want to act like a metaversal miscreant or a little beta boy and try to passively aggressively influence my inner space and manipulate to the outer world and everyone watching the narrative. Yeah, we're going to have problems. So, and that's the way it should be. You're really supposed to be excited by controversy and conflict if it's for the right reasons. You're not supposed to shrink from it. You're supposed to say almost kind of like, I don't want any problems, but everywhere that I see bad and wrongdoing and defalcating and defrauding and lying, I'm going to fucking pipe up. Okay? And I'm going to put myself in between that. Right? That's what needs to happen. You see something, say something. Remember that act that they told everyone for the wrong reason? See something, say something. So I try
That's
to
a
live
good policy.
Right. Because, the same way you'd want people to advocate for you or whatever was right in the situation, you do that. So we be the change, we exemplify the change, and then we can at least sit peaceful in our conscience knowing we fucking done what we need to do and everything else after that. And again, I'm not a one who jumps to conflict and controversy when it comes to getting physical. I don't like that shit. I don't like how it feels winning or losing. I don't like it. I stay away from it. Right. And that shouldn't even come into the conversation. What does me speaking with my words and piping up have to do with anybody putting hands on each other? That's a whole other situation. So there's free speech, theoretically, in this country for a reason. You see something, you say something, everybody fucking pipes up, and it stops fucked up behavior from continuing. If it continues and then we can't use our voice or the voice is diminished, then it turns into a physicality situation, where those who make peaceful resolution impossible because of their lack of comprehension make violent revolution, complete circle of war, inevitable. And again, as the Drew Cuckbody outline will tell you, like most egoic worldly slaves will tell you, they're at war with themselves, first and foremost. Don't I always tell folks that all relationships outside of self extend from the relationship you have with yourself? So, of course, if you're at war with yourself and you think that's the way it's supposed to be, then you're going to be at war with every other self outside of self, because there's only one self. Isn't that common, uncommon sense? Right. So let's go to the slave news. Let's get it out of the way. And then we got Watson and whatever else is on the agenda. I have a live African-American panel that was going off before. They're probably not live anymore. Let's see, where are we at here? Oh, yes, the once great empire state has now become the state of exodus. Everybody's running the hell out of New York. It's almost like Mexico at this point. They're all at the border of New York wondering when they can cross.
This new video just coming into our newsroom, migrants charging their phones through the border wall. And the migrants keep coming north, taking the welcome from sanctuary cities. But now there's a lack of shelter, and the suburbs didn't ask for the visitors.
It's complete chaos here in New York. The mayor's gone rogue.
Not only that, but the northern border. So the northern border.
So that's the exodus. So apparently the exodus, I'm guessing, I was taking it the other way, but it still applies. There's tons of people leaving California, New York, but apparently all the migrants are using New York as the exodus. The final place, I guess, is what they're communicating. So I misunderstood the headline. So big surprise. I was on Long Island the majority of my life, and no shortage of Latino folks, let's just say. Very diverse community.
To react, Republican New York Congresswoman Claudia Tenney. Congresswoman, thanks for being with us. These numbers in the northern border are shocking. We want to get to that, but I want to start with what's happening in and around sanctuary cities, because these cities and the mayors who run them said, come here. We're here for you. We've got your back. We're going to take care of this. Now reality is hitting, and these cities are becoming revolving doors, sending migrants to places all around them that, of course, didn't ask for the migrants, but can't handle them in the first place. You represent areas that are seeing what's happening as sanctuary cities become revolving doors. Tell us what you're seeing.
Well, first of all, New York City is a sanctuary city. So while the mayor complains, Mayor Adams, he's allowing these immigrants and inviting them in. And in the recent New York State budget, by the way, a record high budget, $229 billion, up 40%, I think, just in the last two cycles. Amazingly huge. Kathy Hochul put $1 billion in to accommodate illegal immigrants coming across the border, whether through New York City or down through the northern border. Recently, I spent an entire day with the Border Patrol agents in the Buffalo sector, and we went through all kinds of information, video, drone footage, what they're encountering in the Swanton sector. And what do you know, a few days after I left, 4 people died in a swamp in the Canadian border trying to get through because they're just, the cartels are
OTW's area,
allowing them in.
They're watching the broadcast.
Are at the border. They drive them across. And the Border Patrol told me these people can go anywhere in the country because New York, the sanctuary state as well, giving money and incentivizing people to come there. New York also gives them all driver's licenses and does not allow law enforcement to even ask if
that's
someone
exactly
has.
how
I love that. They'll put me in jail for traveling freely, take the property, and then they'll bring in a whole bunch of people who are like trafficking and doing all types of shit. and then give them all the fucking corporate benefits and privileges. I love it. They love slavery so much, they'll let anyone be a slave with numbers. But if you're born on this land and want God-given rights and freedom, oh, you're the enemy, boy. You're off.
Well, as a Canadian, I mean, it's pretty much that easy. You just, get that permit there, and you're good to go.
License that's whether they're illegal or not. There's no status. Everybody's the same. So all of this is creating a huge problem for our local communities. Broome County in upstate New York, my old district.
Did you hear that? There's no status.
Just issued a state of emergency, bracing for what is happening as Mayor Adams is shipping these illegal immigrants upstate. We don't have the resources. Broome County is already struggling. All these Rockland County, you heard the Rockland County executive earlier. A couple days ago, Orange County, all these upstate counties, all the way up into where my northern region of New York State are saying we can't even accommodate the people that live here. Not to mention the taxes, the money that was taken away from our local governments in the recent budget by Kathy Hochul. It's a disaster. And they're really showing that they don't care about taxpayers, security, their wallets, their ability to care for themselves and fend off against this invasion, which is really what it's becoming in New York State.
I think you're 100% right. And when it comes to that issue, all I've seen in New York City and also within the larger, New York State is that anybody with anything has left, essentially. And so you think about the voting pool that's left here and you say to yourself, these politicians that are allowing this to go on are just going to continue to be elected into office and nothing will change. So for those of us who are left here and don't like what's happening, what's going to happen to our quality of life?
Well, first of all, let me ask, will Kathy Hochul allow illegal immigrants to have hookups to gas stoves,
you already are
hookups to gas fueled homes and other types of buildings, commercial or otherwise? This is the kind of ridiculousness that you're seeing in New York. Not only are we facing an energy crisis with this ridiculous Green New Deal of New York.
I don't have no energy crisis. I'm so not going to be an energy crisis that they're going to have to spray out the sun to stop me from getting energy. Not be in crisis, right? I have no energy crisis, goofy bitch. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Maybe you got an energy crisis because you got 5 million fucking slaves packed into some fucking cosmic experiment you call New York, Manhattan Island, and the rest of it. So, when you typically go against nature, you meet resistance. And then there's crisis. And no one could ever see it coming, right? Well, almost nobody.
And they've doubled down on it. You're going to see the illegal immigrants probably getting better than citizen status in New York because we're going to have to find a way to
protected class, baby. Better than the slaves. I love it when they
the beleaguered New York taxpayers.
That's why I said there's different classes and status of citizen slaves and persons and entities. So, I wouldn't be surprised. They're going to give them protected status. And then they're going to slave you up and tax you more. If you're a good little citizen, regular good little citizen slave, you're going to get taxed up more. So other people can have benefits and privileges who are above you now. Yeah, I like that. That gets everybody riled up and confused again because they don't understand law and they don't want to. Just want to get mad and blame other people and vote for shit.
It's why New York has the largest outmigration of people and jobs than any other state in the nation. We don't respect the people that live here. We don't respect their businesses, our tax base. And the Albany left-wing government there that is run completely by Democrats, from the state legislature to the governor, who is a powerless governor. There's a veto-proof majority. There's nothing she can do. But all she does is cater to the far left and these sanctuary city policies, high taxes. It's really problematic. If people don't start voting at the ballot box, they're voting with their feet. And we're going to start
voting. If you don't start voting,
I can tell you, New York City dwellers who pay high taxes here don't feel like they're getting value for their money right now. It's only going to get worse with all the spending you're talking about on this migrant crisis. Congresswoman, we've got to leave it there. Thanks for being with us.
Every day. Just going to remind everyone what a big fucking joke. Like my father, now he's going to come in and do a bit non-bit where he overplays the whole idea of Trump. Like, you love Trump, cut it the fuck out. You want to be just like him, and you're going to vote for him again. You don't have to say he's your daddy and, play up the fucking bit, non-bit. We see what it is. You're all the same. That's why they say NPC, and it caught on because the people are all the same. You know, when I say spiritually, there's only one self, pure conscious and awareness, having a bodily experience. That's true. And then there's belief systems, which confirms that you're all the same. There's no special, unique. I have my own mind and heart and my own beingness and soul, essentially, right? If you do have your own soul, it's an individuated unit of a whole. So it's still one self, you know, one soul, one truth, one life, one love. One way of beingness in certain areas. You know, you're not going to get out of this simulation without doing and being certain things, without chosen suffering, without chosen slavery and genocide. It is what it is. So the quicker we apprehend what this force we call God wants from us, the quicker we get out of suffering and cycling and revolution, at least individually. Collectively, I wouldn't have too much hope. Doesn't mean it can't change, but as long as you're doing what you need to do, you don't need hope. Nothing else to do. Your thoughts, Steven and Max?
Off-topic question. How much is the trailer that you're in worth? And what year is it?
I haven't looked it up.
All right. Do you know what year it is?
I want to say 2011.
2011. Oh, okay. So it's like 12 years old. And another question I wanted to know is how big is it? Is like how many feet by how many feet?
30.
Wow, that's fucking humongous.
Well, I am humongous, so.
All right, and you got like a 1-bedroom, like a kitchen and a bathroom and everything in there?
Yeah. You got a fridge, microwave, a vent, an oven, a stovetop, a sink, a bunch of storage cabinets, a bunk area. There's a lower bed and an upper bed. Storage in there, storage underneath, and then bathroom with a door. You know, like a full little bathroom. I pulled it up one day. I showed everybody what it looks like.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's nice. We saw it.
Yeah, man. I mean, listen,
I saw Wes Watson's crib today. That motherfucker's got a nice ass house.
You know, happiness is not found in acquiring more. It's learning to enjoy less. So all the people who shit on me, they just confirm that they've not reached the state of fulfillment and happiness because they wouldn't be happy in here, is what they're saying. If I come in here and it's like a mansion to me, who's the idiot? You know, it would only suck if I was unhappy in here. I'm not. So it would suck for you because of who you are in here, right? To the Provo child and all the rest of them. Go ahead, sir. I didn't mean to cut you off.
I have another.
We're trying
sorry.
to move into the trailer. They're so costly.
Not
Oh, well, he's just asking if he has a freaking toilet in there. Of course he's got a toilet in there.
Oh, yeah.
In the bucket.
And all right. I have one last question concerning the trailer. Is like, how do you power it? It's like you have solar panels and a generator, or is like how does that work?
So, it's just going to be solar, and then there's propane for certain things.
Oh,
like
okay.
Propane. If you want to use the oven, you got to use propane. If you want to use your stovetop, you got to have propane. But you could change that every 3 months, and it's probably going to only. I haven't done it yet, but it's probably going to only be like $60-$70 every few months.
That's good.
So, you could the fridge you could power on propane or electric, depending on what you got. So if you got the solar, then it'll run off that. If you don't have that, you could run it off the propane. But that's
all right. And how big is your panel? Like
and the burner, the water burner, the what do you call it?
The water heater. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
the water.
It's gonna have a little pilot light and a flame, and that's gonna heat up the water tank for the shower if you're gonna use that.
Oh, I was gonna say something else, but now I forgot. But anyway, that's cool.
Well, you're talking about OTW, these trailers. I don't know what kind of trailer falls in. I mean, you described it, but they're so cheap, man. Like it's really the way to go. You know what I mean? You can have a nice big house. That's fine, but man, save so much money by living in a trailer, especially propane. You got solar going on. It's really the way to go.
I mean, yeah, if somebody was smart, man, if they got into like a whatever job, really, but if they had like a decent job, they'd fucking just do that up front, right? Go like take, but again, we live in a world now where most people don't have disposable income. It would seem.
Yeah.
So you got to kind of have savings, I guess. But if you work for X amount of time, you know, like I've said it before, looking at it now from where I was at before, instead of trying to upkeep a lifestyle you can't maintain, you sacrifice up front so you can get your footing and then reinvest back in yourself. And, you know, that's what I was on, like going to the tent. You know, if I'd have continued, I'd have, you know, they tell the story, oh, my father, you know, bought this trailer. Right. But the other side of that was within 6 months or not even a year of living in, no, I lived in a tent for about a year. So within a year living in a tent, I already had whatever I needed to through this to get that, right? If I chose to do that, I was just saving everything and continuing to live in a tent and reinvesting in you know, heavy metals and other things that are going to hold their value through any kind of fiat collapse. So
yeah. Sorry to interrupt. Do you have a suggestion for metals?
Silver.
Like, no, I mean like a place to buy.
Oh.
Well, when I mean heavy metals, I mean you know.
Gunpowder? Yeah, no, I got those heavy metals. Plenty of those. But
yeah.
No, precious metals, I should say. All right.
Yeah, no, that's another thing next that I, you know, I have some silver, but I'm going to do more of that just to kind of diversify. But I don't have.
I didn't know if you had a trustworthy source or not.
No, I mean, the way I'd probably move with that is I usually like to do used kind of stuff. So I'd probably go to like one of these gun shows where I saw it last time, and then, you know, bring the tester. And I mean, you're taking a gamble because anybody, I guess, could sell you anything. But typically, if you look at the coin and you do a little test or whatever, odds are it's not something wrapped in something else. So, you know, I would just buy coins from maybe a dealer at a gun show or whatever show, and then I would just, you know, hey, I'll give you this for it. If it's been sitting around long enough, they don't even remember maybe what they paid for it. They just want to get rid of it. They want new shit. So I try to move like that, man. You know, if you could, and again, it's tricky because you don't just want to go to like some swap meet. You kind of want to go someplace where, like I said, it's a dealers, like gun dealers, folks who are like vendors. They got business cards. They're established. And, you know, they got a bunch of gold and silver there. So like, hey, I'll take half of what you got there. You know, well, what do you want for it? This. Okay, I'll give you 500 off that or whatever. And then you check the price. Like anything else, you research. What is gold and silver going for right now? And try to get it as close to melt value as you could get it for. That's why I don't want to buy jewelry. I wanted to buy a ring and pimp and mac on these slaves, but I'm so fucking cheap. I don't want to pay 20, 30% over melt value. I don't want to lose 20, 30% on my investment. It's just, I'd rather, I guess, buy the gold and silver coins, which you could pretty much get, you know, like 1, 2%, whatever the fuck it is, barely over the melt value. So I know I could take that and melt that down. Worst comes to worst, and I could get back whatever the fuck I put into it. So, but ultimately, the times we're in now, if you just take a long enough trajectory, like 20 years, what's 20, 30% loss on an investment over 20 years? Go ask your father or anybody else, you know, 20 years ago, what the fuck they pay for anything. You know, what was it? 19, well, I guess 30 years at this point. You know, 30, 40 years. So it depends on what your trajectory is. If you go, I want to put a bunch of money in there and have it hold its value, maybe pass it down to my children or grandchildren, then yeah, gold and silver, really, no matter what you buy, even jewelry, is going to hold its value because it's way over 20, 30% dropping on the return if you just held the cash, you know, from what I know. And you guys who are all older than me would have to tell me. But I'm also doing this thing in my mind now where, like, I go 20, 30 years ago as if it's 2000 still. I'm thinking of, like, 1980. You know, and I'm like, holy shit, it's 2023. You know, 20, 30 years ago, still only 2000. But we should bring that up one day. the chart of what things cost. I should do that right now. Let's do a search, OTW, on the job training. Give me an item. Give me an item that, in 2000, what something would cost. What's the item?
How about a kid's toy, like a Spider-Man figurine or something like that? I don't know. This is
That might not. How about a house?
okay.
See how much house price difference.
But that isn't that like kind of like what type of house? A bungalow or
Well, it should be average.
It's roughly the same. If you're looking, I'll tell you right now, if you're looking at 2000, it's going to be roughly the same as it is now. So, if you're looking at the housing market, so that's probably not a good one to look at because we're literally.
Okay, well, how about gold and silver then?
Yeah, that's what I would like to see.
Yeah. Well, I could even say like silver has gone up almost double since the past 5 years. So I know because I bought 25 ounces 5 years ago, paid it about $532, and now it's worth way over $1,000. So I just hold on to it. In other words, I already doubled my money in 5 years, so I guess.
Okay. So yeah, you can pretty much see. I don't know if you can see on this chart, but let me see if I go to this.
30 years.
You can see my arrow, right?
Yeah.
So what's the indicator here? Oh, okay. Gold, I guess, is orange, and then silver is
the blue line.
Blue is what I'm guessing. What would be? So yeah, I mean, you can see that this is the same thing they teach you with crypto or anything else. The patterns, you see it goes up, it peaks, it always drops significantly, levels out. Then you have a boom, and everybody sells off. It drops lower, But even at its lowest point, right? Watch what it does. This fucking thing is coming up in my way. When it booms, everybody sells out. It's still at its lowest point, drops to its highest point if you had bought back here, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
See, you see how it's right in line with the highest point here is the lowest point here, right after the boom. So you buy right here, no matter what happens, you ride this up, it goes down. You ride it back up to a bigger boom, it goes down, right? Then everybody sells out here. You keep holding. We're down even lower now, right? Down around the same even point down here, right? Boom, boom, boom. We're going back up. We're going back up. We're higher than ever before. So it's a long game.
Yeah.
Right? It's a long game over 20, 30 years. And again, that's why I said it's about trajectory. Then you have other folks who are watching the metrics, and they're going to get in right here. When it's at its lowest point after this first breakout, they go, well, where's it getting to down here where it's still its highest point back here? It's the same simulation that happens over and over again. I don't care if you go to crypto, the currency, the gold and silver, it's the same patterns. So when we get over here, 2000, we're low.
Yes. $270. Yeah.
In comparison, yeah, gold $272, silver $4.
Yeah.
So, gold is the blue line. That made sense. That was intuitive. Gold is the blue line, apparently. Silver is the orange one. So, yeah, then at where was this year? It's 2012, 2010, 2011. Silver's at 33. Gold is at 1,500. So, yeah, massive increase. Now, where are we at with silver right now? We should be able to zoom in. We can't zoom in on this.
Yeah, it's up. Yeah.
Yeah, it's up, but in comparison, right, you see where it gets its highest points right here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So on this trajectory, right, if we draw a line, which is how they chart these kind of stocks and everything, you draw a line parallel that connects these 2 points.
Right,
you draw a line parallel that connects these lowest points right here, and then you're going to see where the trajectory is going to go. If I continue the chart off here, we're going to be up here at some point. You see where my cursor is?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, we're going to be up here at some point, its highest point. It's going to continue all the way up. It's a trajectory. So, they'll do the same thing with crypto and everything else. At its highest point, it's never going to fail. At its lowest point, it's all garbage. You got to get rid of it. Yet the trajectory keeps on an onward, upward momentum. So even like this, I never talk about it, but we'll go to Bitcoin. And I bet you what you'll see, I haven't looked at this before, it's going to have the same exact momentum and trajectory long-term as that gold and silver chart. If I can actually get a decent fucking image. So now how do we okay. I wish I could overlay this. Let me see. Gold and silver value.
I can see the similarities, Paul. Yeah, it looks identical.
Yeah, you're going to notice that this is all the same. Everything is holographic simulations on some level. Now, there's going to be little variations, but if you zoom out far enough, this is why I say a cosmic third-party view will take you out of all frustrations and fear in any of your investments in life. Because all you have to do is zoom out far enough and have a long enough timeline and play a long enough game, and you will succeed at some point. You may be dead in the ground before you officially succeed, but it mitigates all the suffering and frustration, right? So, bought Bitcoin when it was at its highest last year and saw it drop down 90% is like ready to kill themselves. Yeah. They just put it aside and hold it and play a long game, put it in a fucking drawer or a safe and leave it there and let it go 10, 20 years. They're going to come back to something 5, 10, 15, 20, 100x, whatever the fuck they were playing with. Right.
Hey, can you put that gold and silver chart back up?
Go ahead.
Can you put the gold and silver chart back up?
Yeah. I want to find an overlay of all three.
Oh, okay, awesome.
So Bitcoin. Okay. So here we go.
I guarantee almost perfect overlays.
Let's see what I got here.
Like the patterns.
Okay, so you see that right there?
Yeah.
You tell me that's not an exact fucking projection overlay, give or take. Little moves like you have a move right here, it might be 6 months or a year.
No, that's incredible, man.
But this might be a different timeline. Hold on, I have to see because this might be close up. No, this is a time chart. So let me see. This is why it gets crazy. You know what the crazy part about it is? If you zoom into like a 6-hour timeline on this chart and you zoom out to the all-time chart, I bet you'll see the same simulation play out. Where in the moment, you'll see the same replication that you'll see in the all-time moment. And that's a hologram, right? And then everything in the middle is everybody else's personality, their fears, their thoughts, their choices. But it's fascinating how much we are playing a game that we're also in, and it's playing us, if that makes sense, right? We think we're choosing all the time. We think we have so much control and so much power. We do to choose, but ultimately on a grander scale, there's something bigger going on that we're all just involved in, and it's really about just waiting that out at times, knowing when to do what. Sometimes the next right thing to do is nothing. Because I've seen it myself, investing in some of these things, watching it tank, and then watching everybody else sell it and take a 90% loss. And I go, you don't lose until you sell it. If you just hold it and you don't need it, first of all, you shouldn't invest anything that you absolutely need and couldn't live without. So I don't need anything that I've invested in certain things, and I'm going to hold it. And I guarantee the longer I hold it, the more my chances go up for success, because everything is cycles. Everything comes back around one way or the other. And there's one thing that I know is that digital currency is going to run all these slaves' lives. It already does. So, yeah, I'm going to diversify. Yeah, I'm going to get X amount of certain goofy-ass coins that I see in certain sectors, gaming, financial sectors, privatized sectors, because, hey, you could use digital currency to, as they say, they all tell me, to create freedom and to stop these people from getting access to bank accounts and to your property, right? So, I think it's a tool like anything else. It could be used for good. Most likely it's going to be used for ubiquitous evil or control or domination. We already see that. But it doesn't mean that it can't be a positive thing. It doesn't mean that you can't turn a negative into a positive, flip the script, so to speak. So, yeah, I mean, the key is with this kind of shit, if you're going to invest in any of this shit, you have to get it and you have to hold it and keep it somewhere. If you keep it on their marketplaces, they're going to fucking go bankrupt, steal all the money, and then you're going to be involved in some bullshit with the courts where they say, we don't know where all of it went, and you held it on our application, so we just took it. So, yeah, if you're going to invest in this crypto shit at all, you have to make sure it's in your possession, cold storage, and they can't take it. And then, yeah, it's like anything else. You better do a lot of research, and you better be smart enough to get in when it's at its lowest point in the cycle, and then be long game enough to just hold it, and then, not be greedy enough to not just sell it when it hits a top or when it's on its way to a top. If you don't, it's going to crash back down, and then you need to hold it again. So it'll teach you a lot about, managing your inner space, controlling your time, energy, attention, releasing control of things you don't have control over, and then making the proper choices at the right time. So let me see if I can find here an all-time. Why is this so difficult? It shouldn't be that difficult. My keywords, gold and silver versus Bitcoin chart. All time. Let's see what we get from that. See this. What is this? 1970 to March 1980. That doesn't make any sense. Bitcoin wasn't around. And I don't even know what this means. Am I missing something? Bitcoin was around in 1970. It's bizarre charting.
That's weird.
Bitcoin versus gold. How about that? Why can't I get a Bitcoin, silver, and gold chart? It shouldn't be that difficult. It has to have been done. How about this OTW news? We need your news people on this. No, that doesn't work. I went to that before. Okay. '70s bull market. Okay. You know what? It never happened. It never happened. Oh, dollar index. There you go. Now watch this, gentlemen. Can you see? You can't even see that. That's full screen. Okay. Can you see that now? Are we there? Hello?
Yeah. Got it. We see that.
Okay.
Bitcoin, gold, and silver.
Yeah. You see that dollar index up here?
Yeah.
Where is that? May. It's showing 20. That's not going back far enough. I'm putting in all time. It's not going back far enough. But you'll notice when on any one of these charts, every time the dollar index tanks, everything else goes shooting through the roof. See, there's gold, there's Bitcoin. So that's kind of predictable, right? Dollar index tanks, Bitcoin and gold go through the roof. So all you have is the masters basically gaming this whole system by playing the trajectories. Because you could see, right? One thing that's clear over, what would you say, 5 years? This is kind of okay. No, this is a monthly. This is a monthly chart. Either way, you can see this trajectory on a monthly timeline just headed downward, right? Downward trajectory, up, down, When it hits up, it's lower than the last high, down again, up, lower than the last high, down again, up, lower than the last high, down again. Then we're down again and down again and down again. And then we go to try to go up again and we're down again. So it's a downward trajectory. So they're gaming you this whole time. Every time that's hitting, they're buying right here. Watch. Goes down, they're buying right here, right? Because the dollar index just fucking tanked. So it tanks. They're buying right here. They're riding it up. Riding it up. We're on an upward trajectory. And then all along the way, they're selling. Every time that's tanking, it's going up. They're selling. Buying again. When that goes up, they're running the trajectory game on you.
I have one in backstage that I brought up with the silver, the gold, and the Bitcoin from 2004 to 2016.
2004. Okay, I'll accept that.
There it is.
Now, how do I? But I can't put my cursor on that. Buy Bitcoin, buy silver, red, buy gold, blue. Yeah, you can see the correlations here and there on that.
Well, you see Bitcoin like for since 2004 all the way up to I don't know, maybe 2010. Bitcoin wasn't even a thing, it was it's towards the middle of it. Let's say like 2008.
The gold's been fluctuating more, but it's still the same trajectory, right? You can pretty much see, even when you get, I'd like to see it from that 04 to present. I'd like to see on the grand scale where that gold is.
All right, let me go try and find one.
Still, either way, an upward trajectory. You could see right there. I could pull that up too. Hold on, you can see on that long game timeline that it's an upward trajectory no matter how you slice it. It's not going down by any means because the gold and silver holds all the true value. Everything else is speculative, at best. Bitcoin, I don't care what it is, the dollar, petrodollar, it's all speculative. It's all, they say Bitcoin, I don't know enough about the technology. Every time I say it's backed by nothing, they say, you're an idiot. You don't understand blockchain or anything. I go, I don't. But if I don't, then no one else does. I'm a pretty bright individual, I would like to think at times. And if I can't understand it, you can't talk to me in a way to make me understand it and what backs it. I don't see what's going to make the average public slave able to invest in something other than maybe everyone telling them on TV, which is good enough, really. So that's what's going to drive it up, is everyone at one point just saying, hey, this is what we're all doing. It's going to be this kind of thing. And that's why it started to shoot up. People became aware at some point, this is all going one way, so we're going to get in early. Dead silence, a little bit of dead silence. Never hurt anybody. All right, well, I don't know where I was going with all that. I don't know how we descended into that hole of speculative investments.
You were talking about housing and the cost of housing, and we wanted to find an example of the cost of living, like 20 years ago to compared to now. I was paying attention, sir.
Right. Total global gold value, gold. Okay. Wrong chart again. It's so frustrating. I'm blaming the search engine. Here we go. All time Bitcoin to gold ratio. I don't know what that means.
Starting to get me thinking that, you got to learn when to buy and when to sell.
Well, if you brought a Lou Matami up here, he'd be the first one to let you know that your power's in your buy sell button. I don't play with this shit too much anymore. If I have some shit, I let it sit there. I decided at a certain point that's the way you play this. You play it 4 or 8 year cycles, right? So, you invest what you're willing to lose if it all goes bad, and then you get in when it's at its lowest, and typically it's every X amount of years. So, like right now, it's about double where its lowest was. So I'll pull it up for you. So yeah. Can you see where we at here? November 14th. That was your time to get in, most likely. At its lowest point that it's going to be. You can see the kind of the trajectory there. This is a long-term trajectory.
How many years? This is from 2000. Looks like 10.
Yeah, I don't remember when Bitcoin was created. I don't know when it was created.
It sounds like it was around between 2008 and 2010. It seems to me.
Yeah.
I can look it up if you want. I could check that.
Yeah, so you can see it went up around 60 something. 60 again here. Down here you had about 10,000. So
it's January 2009.
Yeah, so November, if you were paying attention and you were watching any of this shit, it was at its highest point that it's ever been. At this point right here, 62.5, whatever it was, 63. That was the highest point it's ever been.
That was in 2020, what, 21?
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's where you would be selling because its previous highest point is around 58.60. So really you're going to be selling little bits all the way up here. Let's say you get in back here after you see it go to its highest point ever and then people sell out. You have the capitulation phase where it goes up a little bit. Everyone wants to believe, they want to believe, but now we're on a downward trajectory. So you know where it's going. It's going to bottom out somewhere. Bottoms out here. You've been getting up here, right? Hold on, let me zoom this up. Because if you know the cycles of psychology, once it gets here and then the major folks sell out because they know what's coming. By the time you get down here and go back up one time and you see it go down again, you know where it's going. So it makes its way, it bottoms out around here, stays for probably 6 months, 8 months, 10 months, and then something starts happening, right? Starts bubbling. So even if you get in here, right, you're riding all this the way through. Doesn't even matter if you miss this. You get in halfway, you 2-3x your investment. You hit it back up here somewhere around 3/4 of the way, right? And then you're back down again. And even at your lowest point now in the new market,
you're still higher than your
2x. Okay, so let's say you're down here 4. So yeah, you're already 4x. 4 or 5x, whatever you got in here at. So you really can't lose unless it all tanks. If it tanks, you're back to whatever you put in. So it's the people that get in here that got to wait a while because they got in around 60. So
right. Okay. So because it's always going to go up, right?
Well, you'll never know. That's why it's a gamble. But 5-10 year timeline. Well, what's the timeline looking here? We got a 12-year timeline. One thing that's sure is that it keeps going up. It hits its top, bottoms out, but it's on an upward trajectory, right? You can see what the trajectory is. It's basically that. So if you extend it out, we're looking somewhere right here, right? for the next jump up, or the next 2 or 3 rounds, whether that takes 4 or 8 years. So, that's pretty much the trajectory right there. So you're going to see it probably do about 70 to 80 next time. It's going to crack down.
Yeah, it's going to
probably
go back
around
down.
here, 20 to 40 area again, where it's left off, somewhere in there, 15 to that, right? I'm giving you a huge rough estimate. But then it's going to crack up again, and you're going to be winding up somewhere around 100K or better. And then, if a dollar event happens, if a world war event happens, if they start pushing digital currency from all angles, you could see it, far surpass that.
Yeah, skyrocket actually.
Right, but just on the trajectory of this alone, you get in here around the 15 mark, or around the 10, 15 mark, you're pretty much golden. Barring some catastrophic event, if you wanted to invest in this, spiritually and principally, if you didn't think it was unethical. Like I said, it's really just trends and charting. So you're going to be up in that 80, 75, 80 next time. It has to break the resistance first, as they call it. So somewhere between 60 and 65. So once it breaks that 65 barrier and keeps going up, it's going to come down, and then you'll be up around that, 70 to 80. So next time it does a bull run, look for 70 to 80 at least. I mean, it's going to crack down but here's the thing. If you look at from here to here, right, this was an original run up to 600, right? Instead of 60,000, it was 600. But it's becoming shorter and shorter, the times in between where this process is happening, right? You got this run right here, a few months of pretty much nothing. And then we're back up again, higher than ever before, back down, back up again, and then goes down, right? It's been its highest ever, went down back, knocked everybody out. Now it's on the move again, almost immediately. So at one point, used to be there'd be months, maybe a couple years in between those movements significantly. Now you got the thing chopping and moving more frequently. So it would just seem to me it's a more active market, and that makes sense because it's digital currency. It's going to be more and more active market as time goes on.
Agreed.
All right. I don't know how we ended up there, but we never talk about Bitcoin. We cover it. I've been wanting to do something different lately anyway, so, throw it on the fire. Maybe at some point we'll talk more about it, but yeah, it's interesting to see the trends. You look at gold and silver, you look at Bitcoin, you look at the dollar. Dollar dips, the others go up. One dips, the other goes up. All 3 card Monte games, but at the end of the day, nobody really wins who doesn't have a hard asset. As far as I'm concerned, I don't care what they tell you. You don't have hard assets. You don't have land, debt-free, a home, a system with that whole situation, gold and silver, guns, ammunition, food storage, and all the rest. You ain't got shit. So it's a very simple life and understanding. All this extra shit, it's extras. You want to gamble at the casino, go do stocks and Bitcoin and hold cash and all the rest of it. If you're smart, you live the way people live for thousands of years. What the fuck you have is what you can hold in your hand. If you can't, you don't really got it.
You're making me hungry with those chips, man.
I gotta eat, bro. I gotta stay nourished. If you're gonna be God of all media, you gotta be nourished. So we've tracked the flesh-eating virus.
No way.
I just want to be clear on that. Turns out it's coming from Canada, right around Lou Bass's area, and I suspect it's from all the flesh eating that he's doing. So he's eating
all the roadkill.
Yeah, he's eating so much fucking rabid roadkill that now he's a super spreader of a new flesh-eating virus that I talked about yesterday, and part of it is this xylazine. Okay, and I got a feeling that Lou Bass and many other Canadians are on this xylazine, and many other slaves I see on this panel sometimes.
Never heard of it.
That look about him.
Officials have launched a new program to track the so-called flesh-eating zombie drug. It's called xylazine. The animal tranquilizer has been increasingly showing up in local street drug supplies. Kareen Winter
Zombie
is
drug.
live in downtown LA with those details.
What
Hi
did they
there,
kind of
Lou.
come
Well,
with
from
next?
law enforcement officials to addiction specialists out there's a growing concern about the effects of this drug on the streets of Los Angeles, and that's prompted new action by LA County Sheriff's officials. The deadly opioid fentanyl. It's not the only potent narcotic ravaging the streets of Los Angeles.
I've never seen anything like what we're dealing with right now.
The animal tranquilizer, xylazine, also known as a flesh-eating zombie drug, is saturating the drug market locally, sometimes disfiguring users.
I think Ian's on that.
Sores.
That's why
In
he's
some of
always
the most
falling
extreme
asleep.
cases, people have had limbs amputated.
Ian, get off the
Others have
xylazine.
died
I'm
from
here for you.
overdoses.
We had a woman come in and her sister had passed away from a fentanyl overdose. But not only was it a fentanyl overdose, her skin was starting to rot, the muscles on her leg and her arm.
Oh my
So
God.
that's a sure sign.
Crazy.
Of xylazine.
LA County Sheriff's officials now taking steps to track
These
the
people are
presence of
disgusting.
xylazine or tranq in confiscated drugs. Why hasn't it been more on the radar for authorities? Xylazine isn't illegal. It's not a controlled substance. So whenever
This is really bad, guys.
So there you go. That's how this society works. This is whatever that means to you, because I'm not in it.
This is legal.
Yeah, whatever you guys are in, the legal society, they just go, hey, not much we can do about this whole flesh-eating zombie thing because it's illegal. Oh, all right, well, let's just take
But
a step
smoking
back.
pots are illegal.
Yeah, let's process this. The cocaine, the heroin, the mushrooms, the PCP, the LSD, all the rest of it. No reports really of flesh eating, zombieing. I never once did that. I never once ate flesh, and I never once zombied. Well, officially. I mean, some could argue from the outside looking at me, maybe, but from where I was sitting, I wasn't zombieing inside of me. So, yeah, there you go. None of that was legal. I've been arrested over and over again for various things, activities, drug related. But this is legal. So go get yourself some xylazine. You might be able to get that at CVS.
FDA approved, folks.
Yeah, it's over the counter too, I think. It's like in all the new Robitussin. There's some dextromethorphan and xylazine in there.
You better watch those chips, man. You better check the ingredients. Maybe they're going to be put.
Well, there's a bioengineered food ingredient in there, but I don't think it's xylazine. I couldn't be that lucky, right? I really wanted to kind of check out tonight. Me and Talcott, a couple hits of xylazine. Next thing you know, we're eating each other's flesh, and we're kind of zombied out. Don't know where we are, but you know what? It feels good. Let's continue here.
Like fentanyl, it wasn't immediately flagged. Tranq, when added to fentanyl, increases a user's high.
It's really gruesomely disfiguring people, much more likely to stop someone from breathing. And the things that come along with xylazine, it's a vasoconstrictor. So when you're injecting it, it's actually reducing the blood circulation.
Both the DEA and Health Department have issued urgent warnings about xylazine. Some consider the county's pilot program a small step in this massive drug war with a staggering increase in deaths. But they say this move will give officials a better sense of the drug's prevalence on the streets of LA and how to counter this new threat.
In other news, a new take on the the John Lennon song. Because it's kind of like a countercultural. It's like a summer of love. Ebony and xylazine. Yeah. You like that? It's a summer of love, summer of drugs and partying and zombieing out and flesh eating. So here's a little bit of ebony and xylazine for everybody out there. Good morning, Vietnam. This looks like a fucking war zone out there. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did.
It's really
disgusting.
Sad. It is. These people are disgusting. That is one thing. That's why I took that from Ian. He's correct about that.
Hey, wait a minute. This dude is in a trailer.
Right.
I just realized that, man. Hey, you're doing exactly what I did last year. that's exactly what I did. I stripped the whole trailer out completely, the ceiling, I re-insulated everything, put up new walls. Now this year I'm going to be working on the exterior, building a new roof, installing 14 solar panels. I want to make a mini house out of it.
Right. Yep. Same thing here. I'm gutting it down. Got it for $300, and it's $300 worth of crap.
Yeah, I paid it $450, but I invested like $1,500 in it.
Right. As long as the chassis, the frame, whatnot's good, I'm good with it. Like, I'm a carpenter, so this is a little tedious, though, the way these are built.
Yeah.
Right. Wizard Creature is showing up now, and he's at the UN again. What are you, sleeping out there on the streets? They don't want you out on the streets, okay? The streets are not for living and sleeping.
No, they put me up back.
They put you out back like at Moose's Motel?
In a tent?
No, at Jack's. Yeah, in a tent at Jack's place.
Okay.
Right.
It's
Watch
really
out for
secret,
those
don't tell him.
Wizard. Watch out for those xylazine creatures.
Yeah, Jack might be one of them.
No, Jack is on AZT, sir, which of course you may know is a HIV medication. So that's what causes his hallucinations. Because the AZT, it rapidly dehydrates you sometimes, and it causes hallucinations. So he's not taking the HIV medication to get high; it's for the HIV. Your thoughts, Rasta, Virgilio? Let's keep it moving here.
Ándale, y arriba. Go for it.
Well, real quick here, I dropped a link to a video I did a while back on blockchain tactic to private routing. This is the reason I set up my private email and my private site, is because now I can blockchain the data elements before it enters the public arena where they try to transfer a value to it. It's already going to have a timestamp showing the place or the point of origin, and that's on the private side. So they can't use their value system. It's got to go by my weights and measures. That's the principle of blockchaining, where people have these blockchain coins, Bitcoin and stuff. Those people started it for themselves to make money off of their sales of their data. They took over their own data and started selling their own data. That's all they did. Instead of letting the corporations sell their data, they are now selling their data, and people are buying into that. That shows you how much of a sucker you are if you're on the buying end. I yield.
All right, let's get to the rest of the slave news here. We're moving slow today.
Hey, we got somebody's got an attitude in chat there.
Yeah, I saw the slave. I'm just moving forward because he's here every day like they all are. They have no life and purpose. And if we can give them something to do and give them somewhere to be to make sure they're not hurting themselves or anyone else, right?
Right.
Right. We got to make sure they're not harming themselves or anyone else. So it's good that they're here. Just, show them love. Don't make any direct eye contact. And this way we know they're safe.
We love you, slave.
Yeah, we'll reach out to your family. Let them know.
My old lady isn't an old lady. And my old lady isn't an old lady. She was born and given the name Joyce, and I made her my choice. And she doesn't clean fish. I do.
All right. Well, thank you for that update. Where are we at here? Okay. So I'm just going to skip this other nonsense. Another police officer was killed. Every day now they're killing police, and they're going to tell you about it to get you scared.
Yo, Paul.
Yeah.
It's funny how people get arrested for selling stuff, and then the government's on the LA and San Francisco giving out free needles and crack pipes. What the hell? Like, you're gonna go arrest the people that are gonna fill it, but you're gonna go give free stuff away. It's just crazy.
It's the American way, sir. I don't know where you've been. So we got now here's the juxtaposition. So We have one person who's now going to say that the migrants are surging, and then in the next story on the other network, they say nothing's happening at the border, no increase. So I haven't heard it yet. We'll watch it together, as we always do, and see what the differences are.
Title 42, as you said, expired last night, and there has not been any of the surges or chaos that many predicted here in San Isidro. In fact, take a look behind me. This is pretty much what it has looked like all morning long. We have talked to people from all over the world, from Afghanistan, from Turkey, from Ghana, and many, many more places, many of whom had no idea what Title 42 was or that it had expired. And you can see this right here, where you see the cement columns. That is the U.S. side. If we pan upward, you can see that iron gate up there. That is Mexico. And migrants right now are camping out in between the two gates. Now, Title 42 was the COVID-era program that allowed the Border Patrol to immediately expel migrants, including asylum seekers, because of a health order. That changed again as of last night, and asylum seekers now must first seek asylum in the country they are passing through or apply for asylum in the U.S. online. If they cross without documentation, the Biden administration says they will be barred from the U.S. for 5 years and could face criminal prosecution if they return. The administration says they want to deter people from turning to human smugglers and attempting dangerous crossings. Now, we're told that about midnight, the Border Patrol came through here and took about 10 carloads of migrants, presumably to be processed. But there are still hundreds of people left here, many with babies. There are elderly people as well, all sleeping out in the elements. It was very cold when we arrived early this morning. We spoke to one man from Turkey who arrived a week ago. He says he's here for political reasons and can't go back. He tells us the U.S. represents safety and hope. He had not heard about the changes.
And
in
hope.
the meantime, here on the U.S. side of the fence, people have been coming by to drop off donations. But volunteers say they need even more because they are feeding about 400 migrants and they're running out of supplies.
We need blankets, sweaters, jackets. That's especially because they're out in the elements. That's priority. So food and items for them to keep warm. We're also getting requests for formula for babies or milk for the kids out there. Snacks for children. We have a lot of children out there with their families and they're hungry.
Llevamos ya como una semana. Nos tocó en avión, en bus, a pie.
We have been on the road for about a week, tells us 19-year-old Laura Rodriguez in Spanish. She said we went on a plane, on a bus, on foot, she told us. It's been hard. And she even says one of her family members almost fainted. She tells us in her hometown in Colombia, people are being threatened and it's dangerous. She says also there's no work, and that's why she and her family made the very long and very...
All right, so there you go. You get the point. One person says they're surging in the border, or one news network says it's surging. The one we watched before earlier, this one says it's surging and waning. We don't know. And then the next one says that there's no increase in migrants at the border. So there's nothing happening.
Top story, the first big test of a new era of immigration along the U.S.-Mexico border. Tens of thousands of migrants are seeking refuge after the pandemic-era border restrictions policy known as Title 42 expired just before midnight on Thursday. The Biden administration is battling court challenges from both sides of the aisle that claim they could hamper their ability to handle historically high levels of border crossings in the weeks ahead. The unprecedented chaos and surge of migrants some lawmakers warned about did not come in the first 24 hours after the policy officially ended. But now there's a wave of fear and uncertainty along the southern border.
Wave.
Christina Ruffini reports from the White House. Christina, good morning.
Not a wave of migrants,
Good morning.
it's a wave
As
of
you
fear.
mentioned, border officials say they didn't see a significant uptick in the number of migrants at the border ahead of the expiration of that law.
Fake alien invasion.
Administration officials say they can with a broken system and limited resources.
At checkpoints along the U.S.-Mexico border, crowding, confusion, and frustration on both sides
Get out
of
of
the
your
fence.
confusion, man.
I'm going to cross into the U.S. through the river, says Jesus Bravo, a 23-year-old from Venezuela, after days of trying and failing to get an online immigration appointment. They never reply, he says, so I'll have to cross through the
Hug a
river
migrant,
like
love a
everybody
migrant.
else.
We have had a plan for more than a year and a half. We've been executing on that plan, and we continue to execute on the plan.
Appearing on CBS, Secretary of Homeland
Trust the
Security
plan.
Alejandro Mayorkas said about 60,000 migrants gathered at the border to await the end of Title 42, a pandemic-era rule that allowed expulsion of immigrants who entered the U.S. unlawfully.
Pandemic rule.
The policy expired 1 minute before midnight on Friday.
We provide lawful, safe, and orderly pathways for people to come to the United States when they qualify for relief.
But that relief could be harder to access under a new Biden administration rule that disqualifies most migrants from gaining asylum without first applying for it in another country. Those caught crossing illegally can face swift expulsion, a 5-year ban, and possible criminal charges.
The president is using the tools that he has in front of him to deal with this issue.
The White House says Congress needs to act and reform the broken immigration system. But Republicans, including Florida governor and likely GOP 2024 presidential candidate Ron DeSantis, are calling for even stricter rules.
I would say the border should be shut down.
Now, also this week, a 17-year-old from Honduras died at a migrant shelter in Florida. He was found unresponsive, taken to the hospital, and later pronounced dead. The Honduran government has asked for a full investigation, and Jeff, an autopsy is underway.
Christina. Thank you, Christina. Christina on the ground there, our correspondent. Your thoughts, Nubs person. I see you're back.
Just catching up. My phone, I was unprepared there again. Just standard of excellency is slacking on my end.
Yeah,
My
well, you
apologies.
chased Alcott off and you fucking used and abused him and insulted him. Chased
Right.
him off. Okay, but you're not going to get in the way of us tonight. So we're going to Watson and then we're wrapping up.
Well, it's good to always wrap up with a good quality prophylactic brought to you here on this channel. Specifically, you can get the patriotic prophylactic produced by Pepito in his migrant working status. Yes, get yours today. Get a pack of 10, get an extra 2 free. They're in extra small, extra, extra small, and extra, extra, extra small for the real femme in you.
Right. I find the extra, extra, extra small to be the best fitting for myself. So
Lots
you
of
might
room.
want to get one of our sizeologists so we can, fit you out there. It's comfort.
Yes,
fitting.
he is a rather attractive male. So that way you get your full potential to be accurately sized.
Well, yeah, it's Rob Cleveland. Rob Cleveland's going to step in for the time being. And as we know, Rob Cleveland is the one man who every man is somewhat oddly attracted to. We don't know why that is. But yeah, we're going to run with that.
Maybe it's the raw masculinity.
Right. And then he's got a little bit of a softer side to him too. Not necessarily a mama's spirit, but sort of a,
So he's like Sears. He's got drapes and tools.
I don't know what that means.
Like, well, you remember the old time store Sears, right?
Oh, okay.
Come see the softer side of Sears.
Right.
Come see the softer side of Rob Cleveland.
It's kind of like Bed Bath and Beyond. Like, what's the Beyond?
Right.
Where's this going? Like you start.
No,
talking
that's
Bed Bath and
the
Beyond.
other channel, the other kingdom across the way, the dangerous one.
All right. Well, let's go over to Watson because we need some fucking inspiration.
stuff.
I should start front loading Watson. Really get people.
Well, you
in
don't
the-
want to backload a wall, at least.
I'm going to move on. We're going to go to Watson. True discipline, not person. Talcott. This one's for everyone, for all of us.
Don't you guys get it yet? Do you get it yet?
saying stuff like hardest worker in the room, still talking about the work you're doing. We don't give a fuck about the work you're doing because we don't see it as work. Do you realize what true discipline is? True discipline is doing what you don't want to do, what you hate to do, like you fucking love it. You don't understand the mindset of a straight savage, a straight killer. I'm not like you guys. I only validate myself with the fact that I'll do what you won't. Now that we've been in Miami, I stay up till 12 at night and get up at 2:45. How is that possible? Because I don't have limitations. I do not. I don't believe in them. I won't accept them. You will, because some doctor with tits and a double chin who looks like shit told you need more sleep. And then the most broke down, shot out dudes in my DM talking about, oh, Wes, like, man, you really need more sleep. I don't take advice from people who aren't in the position I want to be in.
Smart
and I rarely
man.
take advice from some of those people because they're strong in one area. I ain't trying to be strong in just one area. I'm so mentally disciplined. I'm so mentally strong. I'm so impervious to defeat mentally that I'll win in this world. You guys say it's all mind over matter, but then you break when you get a little bit weak mentally. We don't do that. I wake up at 2:45 still because I have so much going on that I love to do that I get up positive. I don't wake up negative. The only thing that drains you is the negativity, the negative self-talk, the negative view, the negative energy towards what must be done. What if you wanted to stay up till 12? Because, damn, it's still 9 o'clock in Cali. I could still crack off a lot more sales, blow my business up more, make more content. I could do more. I could do more. What if that was your mindset? More felt like more and felt better. What if that was it? Instead of, oh, I think I'm burning out. I'm doing too much. Shut the fuck up. Literally, shut up. Everybody thinks they're so fucking bad until their work has to get done. Everyone thinks they're the biggest gangster till the real gangster walks through room. Ain't no room that I'll ever be in where you'll beat me. None of you guys. None of you guys will ever take my steam or speak over me or test me. It won't happen. It will not happen. Meet me in person. You'll see what I really am. I rule all rooms because I've been in harder rooms than you. I don't give a fuck. I really don't. I really won't listen. And that's what I want you guys to do. I want you to learn from your own life experience. I want you to don't even listen to me. Don't even listen to me. The real teachers don't tell you what to see. They show you where to look. I'm telling you to listen to your conscience. If right now your conscience says it's not the right move for you, you need to know if that's your conscience or that fucking vagina between your legs. My whole thing is I'm always being gifted this crazy path. And in all reality, if your dreams don't surpass your current capacity to attain them, they're not fucking big enough and you'll never grow. I always have such a bigger vision than my current ability to attain it. So what does that do? That heightens my capacity to then go achieve that goal. Like I said before, fuck dreams, fuck goals. We got a blueprint. When you have a blueprint, you adhere to it. When the blueprint fits certain monetary stages, when the blueprint fits certain fucking stages of personal elevation, how can you be beaten? When the top people consistently write you and say, God damn, how? Motherfucker, did you say how? Did you say how, motherfucker? How? Are you that blind? Who? I beat you. I spoke better than you. I was more consistent than you. I look better than you. I did this better than you. All of it was done better. So I teach my students to beat me, get more ripped than me, speak better than me, post better content, write better. We have to be better. We have to be undeniable. I'm not going to teach you how. I'm going to teach you to be the person you need to become so that nobody can test you. Nobody can beat you. You get on any podcast, any interview, you have 10 seconds of writing and you beat everyone. You stand on stage next to the shot out cupcake fuck faces, and they know you're the champion. It's one big process of becoming
I fucking
an
love this dude.
undeniable individual. And that's just comes from the discipline and the blueprint. If you have the discipline, I have the blueprint for you. But my blueprint's different. It's not how, it's creating who. And there will be plenty of people, plenty of you guys will fucking murder what I've done. If you guys listen to me and you really create an undeniable motherfucker, you're not delusional, and you're like, yeah, I actually weigh more than that fool. I'm actually more ripped. My tats are on blast. I write better. I speak better. I don't have a pussy when it's time to take the stage. I fucking show up as a motherfucking confident man anywhere I'm at. I got that wholesome energy. I don't conduct myself in a negative manner that has me having that weird ass, pedo ass look. Some of you motherfuckers have that chomo look. Like you're watching some weird porn or some shit. Fucking weirdos.
That's fucking provo child.
Any of that weird shit. You put every ounce of energy into creating that undeniable motherfucker. You guys will beat me. You guys will beat me. I need you guys to beat me.
There it is.
Fucking beat me. Now, step up. Show up and step up. I'm not going to stop, but I know you guys got it because I gave you the blueprint. I gave you the head start, and you're younger than me. We need you guys to step up and be the men that are going to gather the true leaders under them, because true leaders create other leaders. That's it. I need you guys to step up, take my spot as I grow and change. We need a bunch of you guys. I'm obviously just going to stick to Rip, Rich, and Rare till I fucking die. But this time moves quicker than you think. So there's no time to waste. Undeniable motherfuckers need to be created in this pussy-ass society. So many people, they'll pop their cherry before they're ready. They're like, hey, look, I'm doing it. No, you're not. Shut up. Sit down, stupid.
Amen.
A lot of you guys are more ready than you think. And a lot of you guys are more delusional than you think. When you're ready, you know you're ready, because someone like me will pass you the torch. Let's go.
God, that guy's fucking awesome.
Fucking pussy society.
He's dead on, though. If you listen to what he's saying, he is dead fucking on.
Yeah, well, that's the dynamic you got going on in this metaverse 90% of the time. It's got nothing to do with what I'm saying or not saying, doing or not doing. It's them hating because, they feel some
they
kind
ain't
of way.
creating.
Yeah. Sad, man. I'm not that guy. They keep saying I'm that guy. I didn't know I was that guy. I'm really not that guy. I had to become that guy almost. Like, hey, I'm gonna fucking stun on you and pimp and mac on you and fuck with you because you should start being better for yourself and doing better for yourself. And for some reason that like attracts people who don't like you. I don't know what that is. It's again, the only thing I come back to is player hater. That's the only thing I've ever heard that makes sense. If you're playing and in the game, then there's got to be somebody hating from the sideline.
I don't think it's that they hate you. I think they want to be you because you're attracted to what you emulate.
I think that's kind of odd because it's like, what I don't know. I think the whole thing is odd and kind of scary and sad.
Well, it's because what you produce or what you bring forth is not your fucking words. It's the words of the Tao. It's the words of the Bible. It's the words of much greater realms than you. Your opinion matters fucking not.
All right, well, let's get to...
Or am I bootlicking?
Yeah, you might be bootlicking, man.
Okay.
I've never really said anything or done anything, and I'm really unimportant, but I have a huge ego, and I like to do cult stuff. So this is a cult classic. You might remember this one.
In a world full of comfort seekers, the last thing everybody needs is more compassion.
Hello again, brothers and sisters. Who I want to become today is a man who helps negotiate peace, to end the wars, and to help wake humanity up to the reality of what could be.
What?
Seriously. I mean, is this real?
All the time, I get the same question. And all it does is prove to me that you're placing the emphasis elsewhere. Everything is going to begin and end with you.
You're really just wasting all of our time. Go ahead, I guess. Whatever nonsense. Go ahead. Sorry.
You don't work on you, motherfucker. How the fuck are you not going to self-sabotage? You have no worth. The worth comes from the work.
This is fucking awesome.
I have no worth in you.
I know my goals. I know my situation. I know my life. I know my values. I know the type of man who I am. So please.
You don't want what you need. You want what you want, and that's the fucking problem.
Fuck you. That is not the narrative of my reality, and I'm sick of
This
you
is fucking
believing
awesome.
it.
You would do that. Talcott would tell him, "Fuck you, too." You know, fuck you,
It can feel good, man.
Meet me outside, homie.
Amateurs operate from their fucking feelers, and it's fucking sickening to watch these people who say they fucking want shit in life just tap out whenever it gets difficult.
You!
Whoa! Your boy West loves you. Your boy West loves you. Your boy West loves you, motherfucker.
I love you. I love you. I love you. You're a fucking trip, man. Holy shit.
Somebody's got some editing skills. Hats off to that motherfucker.
Yeah, it's Marika, man. She's fucking good shit.
That was like dead on, like a conversation.
First pitch to Shohei Ohtani. A high, towering drive into dead center field.
Autoplay.
In a world full of comfort seekers, the last.
She did the other one too. Hold on, where's
She can definitely use Talcott's threats towards me for many, many good episodes.
How do I find?
What did I miss there, Nuds?
Oh, nothing. Just a little bit of physical violence from the man of peace.
Oh, really? Oh, no. I figured there was some reason that the Talcott Express was going. I know you're into the stream a bit, and I saw this Wes Watson with Talcott. It's pretty brilliant video you're putting together there.
That wasn't me. I can't take credit for it as much as I would appreciate. It's definitely a message that I would preach as well.
It's just seemingly well thought out. So, how you doing, Wizard? How you doing, Paul?
I am
How you
good.
doing, OW, Chris?
What's up, dude?
What's going on, man? I'm looking
been
for this
doing-
O'Shea video.
Hey, good to see you, and good job sticking up for people too, man. I've seen you in the last couple videos. Good job, man.
I appreciate it.
You too, brother. Keep
I've
up the
been
good
dealing
work.
with my mom today. My foster brother came in with his girlfriend from Brazil. I was going to ask, while I got you Wizard online, I mean, he's a foster child, and so I care about him. He's been my brother forever. He's got a girl from Brazil. He's worried about this whole fucking DeSantis thing. What is he going to do if they stop him or something? Because she's on a temporary visa, and it's going to end in another 3 weeks or so. And how does he get her here? Does he have to marry her? That's what he's thinking.
That's his wife. She is his wife, and he is her husband.
That's his property, her property.
Correct. In those terms, they are each other's property. This is the big thing about going to court, folks. You don't have your wife's permission, and your wife doesn't have your permission to step out of the bounds of your holy matrimonial trust. Doing that is a violation of that trust. When you get married by a state license, it's a violation of that trust that you developed in the relationship of courting before you got that license that drug you into a administrative court as adults. This is also the same thing that happens with the enumeration of birth and the Social Security application. You're being drugged into a administrative court, violating your natural trust with him.
All right, without derailing too much, I'd love to have a conversation with you if you do a stream or something in the next week or so, and maybe I could talk him into listening in or even participating, because she speaks Portuguese, so she's not going to understand much unless we got some sort of translator. So
Maybe I can learn Portuguese.
Yeah. Well, it's
way I think, the way I live, the way I feel is fucking incredible.
Fucking incredible.
Fucking incredible.
I had no idea that living can feel good, man. Peace and love. Peace and love, my brother.
Dear Stan.
I think, the way I live.
Sorry.
Peace and love, brothers. Peace and love, brothers.
Peace and love.
Dear Jack, I wrote the letter just the other day. Did you get it? I know it came from the post office. I sent it.
You must have read it before it was delivered.
I just got a letter the other day from a man named, come to think of it, it was you. It's just Talcott with a woman in the trunk. That's Marika again. She's like, you know.
No, that's Moose in the trunk.
She's one of my comedy soulmates, right? In this realm. You know, you're not going to find a woman who's got a sense of humor like that. You know, she's been through a lot, okay, is what I suspect. A lot of trauma. But, you know, the lily grows in the wayside with all the litter and the trash. The Dow says, I believe. So, you know, amazing sense of humor, beautiful woman, beautiful, full of beauty. And that's one example of her beauty right there. A couple examples. The Watson video, the Talcott with the woman in the trunk and the Stan track behind it. That's perfection right there, okay? Moose ain't going to do that. Moose can't do that.
That might have been me in the trunk.
All right, well, I guess that's the end of the official broadcast. I'll turn it over to you folks for a little bit. I guess another maybe 10 minutes or so, and then I'm going to check out. We're going to have a brief intermission, and then we're going to be back for the Talcottian one and the festivities for the night. So I expect to see everyone over there and on his StreamYard who's allowed there, okay, which might not be any of us at this point, oddly enough. In which case, I guess whoever's left over, I'll see you on there. Because I'm
definitely
today?
not welcome.
What happened? I got to go back and watch this stream real quick. Oh, shit.
Yeah, that's pretty
I can
shitty.
only-
He let everybody else up there on his night of peace. And I accepted his offer, and he denied the offer. That's dishonor. So fuck Jack once again.
Well, he is definitely a dishonorable man.
His night of peace. It's like a crystal cot, right? It's the night of broken glass. It's Talcott. Yeah, we have to get Talcott in touch with some officials because I want to see where this all goes. He was on here today with the angriest look he's ever had in his face, saying he really wants to talk to the Masters now because he wants to genocide everybody because he said he's lost hope in humanity. So I knew it was always in him.
Well, we got to get him to walk on a bed of coals again.
That would take discipline, Wizard.
Exactly. All right, guys. Well, my final words. I'm going to let you know I'm going to be doing a video here in about an hour on the UPU copyright disclaimer. So hopefully we'll see you then. Shouldn't be long. Going to be a short stream, just reading over some things and giving you some links to start thinking about your communications and these copyrights and how they work. So hopefully we'll see you then. God bless. Love you. Have a good day.
What's your channel?
El Perro. Same as the name down in the chat.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you, Wizard
Can we
Creature.
go off topic
You
afterwards?
better not interfere with Jack Talcott's broadcast either. You got a half an hour to get your shit done. You know the slaves really don't care about their rights and freedoms anyway. And I can't have you interfering with the Talcottian one's message for the night.
Well, I'm here at Jack's now. I had to do some rearranging, but you see his fireplace back there.
Awesome. Nice.
Careful, that might be you in the trunk if you're there.
Holy shit.
I doubt that.
You mean maybe he'd be regretting his actions after about 10 minutes?
First minute. I have zero patience for Jack anymore.
Yeah, as soon as Jack realizes that Wizard moved his bowels in that trunk, it's going to be hell to pay.
Uh-oh. Oh, man.
Even my dog is yowling at that one.
Wizard, on your stream a little later, do you mind if I come ask you a few questions at the end?
Not at all.
Appreciate it, brother. Take care. Talk to you.
Well, my final thoughts are baklava. Homemade baklava.
Is that what that is? Fuck me,
That's-
that's awesome shit. You Greek bitch, you. That's awesome.
Going to be delicious, and
Let
that's
me
what
put my
happens when
address.
you.
Let me put my address in the private chat. I need to get shit over here.
Yeah, I did. This has 4 different nuts in it, and then it also has, I think, cranberries and blueberries.
Wow. Wow. I love that shit. Little paper thin. What is it called? Phyllo dough?
Phyllo, yeah.
Phyllo.
And then the simple syrup, I didn't make a traditional style. I made it of vanilla with a little bit of cinnamon, so it's a cinnamon vanilla. Yeah, it's where it's at.
Paul's going to start a show, Cooking with the Unslaved, have Lou Bass up here killing, or not killing, but picking up fucking roadkill and cooking it up. I mean, that's, Jesus, the next Emerald Lagasse is going to be Paul the Unslaved. And he's going to have, I think you have your own channel. You got 30 different characters and you have 50 different topics. What the hell?
Hey, if you can be every character on your fucking show, it cuts down on cost.
There you go.
Anyways, y'all have a great one. I'm going to eat some baklava.
Thank you, sir.
I'm catching the tail end of your show, so I guess I'll just kind of mosey on out, and I'll probably go back in time and watch some of this. Thanks for bringing me up again, and say, as we were, moving forward, I'll see you at Talcott, I'm sure.
Thank you, Scott Person. We appreciate you, sir.
Peace. Thank
Peace,
you.
Scott.
Take care, OTW.
All right. Well, this is it. This is looks like it's the end. It's kind of over.
So the end is near, and now we face the final curtain. But through it all, I met the call. I don't even know the words. Come on.
It's
Get
a
the hell
great
outta here.
song, man. That was awesome, man. You were singing
We
Frank
got
Sinatra.
Talcott. We
Great.
got to prepare for Talcott, bro.
All right. So, peace. Much love to everybody. Thanks, Paul, for having me up, and have a great end of the evening.
Yeah,
I don't
I'm
know what
eating
time it is over
cereal.
there. But
I found a new cereal that's not genetically engineered. I don't think.
you always got to check the ingredients, man.
Yeah, so immediately go right now to your kitchen and check all the ingredients and everything. You got an hour and a half before the great Talcott graces you with his presence and awareness. So you should be able to get that done. You got an hour and a half to check all the products in your kitchen for crickets, bugs, feces, and you got to understand there's coded words. Like they'll put feces right in your food, and then it's right on the back, but you don't know it because it's a coded word. The Legal
Right,
Society recreated the word of feces into something else. I'm telling you, got to watch these people.
Right. Just like you got to check for xylazine. What is it called?
Xylazine, sir. Yeah, you're on it.
Xylazine. There we go. We got to check for that now.
Yeah, watch the water too. I think there's xylazine in there. That's why a lot of these slaves keep voting in insanity, and they look like a bunch of flesh-eating demons.
Exactly. So we got to watch out for that kind of stuff, guys. This is a new ingredient that you might find in your day-to-day life. It could be in your toothpaste, people. You don't know. So check this out. You got to check these.
Okay, this is great. We just gave birth to a new bit right here. This is how it happens, time after time. If you're lost, you can look and you will find it, right? Time after time. So we're going to have OTWs, top 5 or top 10 things that everyone should be scared of constantly. And that might change. week to week. So if you're into it, you could just come up with a list. Remember, like David Letterman's top 10? You can
Right.
have OTW's top 10 things that everyone should be deathly afraid of constantly and fixate over.
Exactly. Right. And what the first of them is Xyla. What the fuck is it? Xylazine. Yeah, that's the first one on the list. Like, yeah, you can already check that one off.
Where does brown people fit in on the list?
I don't know. I got a lot of things to filter out there. I mean, yeah. There's. I mean, I was thinking of putting like Jack Talcott as number 2, right?
Things to fear constantly, Jack Talcott. Well, he did to go on record today and say he's going to start working with the Masters to genocide everybody.
Yeah, that's exactly
So
why
you
I said that. Yeah, you might have. Yeah. You might want to review your opinion about Jack and make sure that should be number 2. And number 3 would be let me see. What would be? I could think about this. Number 3 would be. Oh, I know. The media. Well, I mean mainstream. There, you should. Yeah, in constant fear of mainstream.
It's a very lackluster list, man. I expected more from you.
Really?
You are you're a news person. You are a news professional.
Okay. Well, everybody should be afraid. Okay, I got some good ones. Everybody, number 3, everybody should be afraid of school shootings. All right.
Oh man, yeah, that's okay.
Okay.
See, I felt that one. As soon as you said that, I kind of felt something down my back. So that's what I look for when I want to know if it's a good topic. So that's good. Okay. I felt the fear for that one.
All right. Number 4.
You sure brown people? Because I don't know, maybe I'm projecting.
Well, I was going for immigrants there. You watch out for people while crossing the border and come to take your. Yeah, you gotta watch out for the illegal immigrants, right? The aliens. Gotta watch out for. That's number 4, right? Number 5, you gotta watch out for Trump being reelected. That's number 5. Gotta in constant fear of that.
Right.
Number
Orange
6.
Man bad.
Yeah, exactly. No, you have to absolutely be in constant fear of that. Number 6, the dollar crashing, right? So then there's no more money. Can't do anything anymore. Everything's digital. So you're fucked. You won't be able to be exchanging services for pieces of paper or plastic or whatever. Number 6. Number 7, pedophiles. You're in constant fear of pedophiles.
So don't bring Talcott up. He's not here to defend himself.
All right. All right. Number 9, in constant fear that
number 9 on the list of top 10 things that you should be afraid of constantly. Go.
Number 9, internet shutting down. Definitely.
Internet shutting down. Internet 2.0. Slaves going into digital slavery and currency. All right. Number 10.
Number 10.
Thing on the 10.
Number 10. An asteroid the size of New York State.
I was talking it up. You can't just cut me off on the talk up. I talk up and then I go to you.
Oh, sorry about that.
Yeah. All right. Well, just go ahead. Go ahead. Number 10.
Okay. Yeah. An asteroid the size of New York State is gonna, we got to be in constant fear that that's gonna hit us at any given moment.
All right.
So that's number 10.
Number 10 was an asteroid.
Yeah. There
right,
could be an 11th one. There's an alien invasion from outer space could be number 11.
Okay, I think it's a top 10 though.
Right. So we should maybe drop the Trump one.
Yeah.
And it's going.
All right, so that was it for the top 10 things that you should be afraid of constantly by OTW News and this awesome team of researchers that we have over here. So thank everybody for being here right now. Please make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and be sure to show up next time on our next show, bright and early, where everybody is having a great time and is always enthusiastic to see and hear what was going to happen. Thank you, everybody. Peace.
Thank you, Mr. OTW News. Of course, Tribal Person now is going to come up, and he's going to fucking extend this wrap up. He wouldn't have it any other way. Go ahead, Tribal Person. What have you been up to?
Well, I mean, it's kind of a short, late broadcast today, or short, early, whatever you want to call it. I've been busy. That's why. I caught Wes. The synchronicity was there. I have one question, though, Paul. It's been kind of irking me. That's why I'm really here to ask you one question. Is that what's the difference between a commitment to something like monogamy and this obsession with trying to fix Jack?
I think you're frozen. I'm going to let you go.
No, I'm not frozen.
Oh,
I'm waiting for a response. Here, I'll leave it for you there.
So you're equating me just enjoying experiencing with Jack and being fascinated by the insanity and not being affected by it internally. You're equating that to monogamy somehow?
No. I'm just saying that the commitment you have towards it, such a futile effort, it seems very analogous to monogamy.
No, I'm having fun, even when it's
So
going
monogamy. Hey, sex is fun. I mean, you're not having sex with Jack, I hope, but.
Well, what makes you so sure?
Because he doesn't look satisfied enough, Paul.
That is true. Okay, you got me there. If I was going to have sex with him, he'd be a lot more satisfied. I'll tell you that right now.
I would agree. So I'm not just trying to corner you. It's just something that was really an honest question going through my mind. And so cringe. Yeah, fuck you. The point being is that I kind of see a similarity between an obsession with trying to deal with someone as futile as Jack and a futile effort like trying to make monogamy work where it shouldn't. I'm not.
Yeah, I don't understand. I can ride the line of like giving Talcott a good word and then just enjoying his presence and his insanity. I don't have to have everything my way all the time. Quite the opposite. I know that that's like what I'm known for, but I could just play a long game where I just enjoy. I get comfortable with the uncomfortable. It's the same way I'll be yelling. They'll say, you're angry and triggered. No, I'm not. I'm actually enjoying myself. I like yelling at you slaves sometimes.
Right. But you can't lose with Jack, or you can't win either. It's just a futile effort. So although you might get enjoyment, there's really no productivity from it because in the end, he's literally
so
almost.
What am I, a fucking walking machine here? I got to constantly be productive for everybody on here. I can't just fucking. Girls just want to have fun sometimes, Tribal fellow. I just want to put my
but it's like Jack is an obsession. He's becoming an obsession.
Oh, so this is how you're playing it. This is an intervention now. Jack's become an obsession of mine.
Not really. I mean, you're saying it. I'm just saying it's more like monogamy, but you're saying
Talcott, okay. You want to characterize it that way? Talcott's one of my bottom bitches here. He's going nowhere.
He's in your harem.
He loves me. Even when we disagree, there's still an understanding. Don't characterize it as an obsession. I don't have an obsession with Talcott. He's a cornerstone of this broadcast. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and say it. He's a very integral part of this broadcast at this point.
Yeah, but some people will say that about their spouse.
Okay, so you're really going to play this game? You want me to just delete Talcott from my whole existence and watch?
No.
You did see Wizard tell me he was never coming back because of Talcott, and then within a week of me not even dealing with him, he goes, Talcott's live. He was looking for him after telling me he wasn't going to come back for him. So you guys can talk all the shit you want about Talcott. He's so deeply embedded in your subconscious now that if I was to stop all this, you'd beg me to have him back. You'd beg me to talk about him again.
Not me. Trust me, not me. Trust me.
No, I just saw your face. You know it's true.
No, it's not, Paul.
You can't live without him. You won't give up Talcott. I know you won't.
You want bet? I already unsubscribed from his channel. I stopped going there because I told him if you block me one more time, and someone blocked me a third time, and I said that's it. I'm unsubscribing. I'm never coming back, and I'm gonna stick by my words. That's how it's gonna be. I'm never going back to his channel. Even if you're on there, I'll only watch him from your channel, Paul. I'll never go on his channel. I'll never comment. And I unsubscribed. And I thumbed down all his videos too, by the way.
Well, you missed me on there. If you love me and want to see me tribal person, you missed me on there last night. I didn't restream it, but I was on there. And yeah, I got thrown out and disrespected, as always.
I was busy last night, so even if so, I wouldn't have seen it. But point being is that if it's not on this channel, just like these other characters, I mean, I would never watch some of those characters if it wasn't off of your channel. Except Wes. Wes is cool, but I actually enjoy watching Wes more on your channel than outside of it because there's a context that makes it better.
I love how people want to be manipulated. He's down there. There's Jack's down there going. Another Jack's going, I'll pay good money to have him taken out of here. No response from me. What do you want me to say? Like, you all want me to manipulate and lie to get fiat, right? If you want to donate and contribute, great. That's a blessing to me. But I can't make side deals with everyone. Everyone wants to make these little side deals. Hey, we're going to give you what? What are you going to give me to keep Talcott off here forever? Maybe I don't want that. Okay, this man just said I have an obsession with Talcott. This man over here. There's no one over there.
No, you said it. I said you were monogamous with him.
Okay. I said this guy's good. He's learning. He's learning from the barrister. No, you said that. He goes, you used the word obsession. I didn't use that word. You said it's
a monogamy. You see, there's only so much time in a day, and Talcott gets too much of it for so little in return, I see. But when you say he's an integral part of the broadcast, that puts a new light to it. Not much of one, but a dim light.
What's $5K a month? No. This person is off. I've given certain figures that it could be at certain times, but donations are down lately. It's down lately, and from what I understand, it's because it's all going to the migrants. Because we covered the story today. So all the contributions and donations that were coming in at one point slowed down. They're going to the migrants, as they should. So, this is you guys can't do that down there. You can't make absolute statements like what you think that I'm doing monthly because I made offhanded comments of what it could be when things are going great. It's ups and downs. There's times where you go days with nothing. There's times where shit comes in all at once. You can't, first of all, I can't do it for that. And it doesn't work that way, right? I'm not punching a clock and nothing's guaranteed and I have no expectations and I don't sell nothing. So, yeah. Please stop with it. I'm telling you, everything you say with these people, it becomes this or that, right? He's poor and broke or he's doing X amount every month all the time. It's not necessarily the case. But I do feel, tribal person, that sometime in the future I will get some development deal of sorts, and they will pay me no matter what I do to just show up and be me and do a broadcast and cover certain things. And that will be a cool opportunity if I don't have to sell my soul and I can editorialize and be myself. Because you know me, I can't follow directions. It's been since day one. So if they tell me, just talk about these 5 things and not the rest of this stuff, I will push that line and ride that line as much as possible because I'm not going to be used as a puppet. What I decide to do is what I decide to do, but I will not go against what I decide to do for what someone else tells me I have to do. And that's why this is probably the best format for me. Although it's shaky and unsteady at times, I don't know how much I'd be able to conform to a program. But we'd have to see. I'm open-minded, open-hearted to whatever is meant to be and comes forth. Yeah. Your thoughts? Let's get the hell out of here. You're cutting into my rest time. I have to be rested for Talcott.
Well, I just wanted to pose the question there. Last thing I'm going to leave for my final words is this, is that if you're on late tonight, I don't know how late Talcott goes on, but late here, whatever, if you have a panel, like I said, I want to see something happen. I don't want to go and play a slot and win money and say it was this or it was that. I'm going to go there to have fun. I'm going to go there to pimp and mac. Maybe I'll have some pretty ladies at my side or do whatever we need to make it fun for the broadcast, period. I'm going to spend some fiat because I want to, and we're just going to have fun on the broadcast.
That's what you need to do. All right. So we're putting out the manifestation now. You're going to walk into one of these places. There's going to be a fucking, what do you call it? Slot machine. And it's going to say something that's going to be clear. It's going to be called is this real, man? Slot machine.
Yeah.
You're gonna walk right up to that one where it's gonna be called "Get Out of Your Imagination," and you're gonna walk right. Okay, you're right. I might be a little obsessed with Talcott. The first 2 or 3 thoughts I came up with of slot machine names are all Talcott quotes. So you know what I'm saying. You're gonna go in there and it's just gonna be clear. It's gonna be the white gorilla slot machine. You're gonna see a big white gorilla up there with a jungle scene. And then you're going to say, that's going to be the one. You're going to go over there and you're going to put $100 in. You're going to hit for like 50,000 and you're going to give me half of it, tribal creature. Half of it. I am now doing my, doing my cultish ways on you.
Nah, I got to make it better than that, Paul. It's going to be something like, what I'm looking to do is, of course, I got to cover my expenses for this broadcast gold, but outside of those meager expenses, I see forming something like, land trusts, gold, something good. I would feel dirty to send you fiat, especially after all that crypto nastiness. I still feel kind of dirty about dealing with that stuff. So I feel I need to repent in a way to make it something as true money, like gold or land. We got to have like a land trust for Enslavia, something slick.
Wow. I'm not above taking 4-ply, as they say, pieces of paper, and converting that rather immediately into gold and silver, which I keep meaning to be doing and haven't been doing as much of as I'd like.
Oh, I'm just saying that.
Opportunities. Go ahead.
If it so be it, it's not really going to matter. You could find a place to be sent in the mail, I'm sure. So that's not a problem.
Yeah, I need to come up with a source because I keep meaning to do that. I want to go invest in different forms of gold and silver, but there's little stuff here and there, but I don't know, man. Like the guy was asking me earlier, do you know any sources of that? And I don't know, I guess I'm going to have to go online and see what the reviews are and try something out and see how that goes.
Yeah,
I recommend, man, with what they're saying with this dollar index and the rest of it, I recommend everybody, regardless of whatever you're getting or, think you have, well, I'm not advising anybody, but it would make sense to me if folks, start diversifying and reappropriating that and investing in certain things. We talked about it earlier today, and it's pretty common sense, but holding that 4-ply, I don't think is going to be a good look going forward the next 3 to 5 years. I know I always say that.
3 to 5 months. You don't know what's coming this summer, do you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
What's coming this summer, tribal person? Are you going to blow the lid off something? Do you have some kind of?
Yeah, but Wizard has another broadcast coming. You got to get your rest to get back on. I don't want to really delay it. I think we should wait it for the next one so we have some bait for the next broadcast.
All right, come on Talcott's broadcast and be annoying and harass him like you like to do because you all hate Talcott and then you want to tell me not to love him. I'm gonna love him and put the skid mark video up if I can slip it in and fuck with him a little bit. I can have the best of all worlds. I can love him and play games and joke around and razz, and he'll either deal with that or not. Why would I treat him any different than I would anyone else? Why would I treat him any different than how people treat me? I don't mind that. I don't mind people call me fat trailer, heroin hamster, and whatever else, as long as it's not like a day in, day out thing where they just want me to die. I mean, at that point, it just seems like hate. It's hateful, right?
Well, I mean, let's face it, the attention, negative or positive for him, is better than nothing because it seems like he's not getting much in the way of substantial social interactions. They seem to be very superficial, what he's been talking about.
Yeah, like, have you ever seen me bring up Talcott or other people's, like, drug and alcohol habits and, basically tell them they should die? I don't really do that. They say I'm so hateful, but I don't bring up people's fucking necessarily their personal lowest sort of, below the belt things to try to harm them and hurt them. I just basically call it as I see it. If I see a personality trait or a character that develops over time, I'll call it as I see it, or I'll tease people and razz people on shit they've said that we know about. That's public information, right? So, it's just interesting, the characterization narrative. All right, get the hell out of here, tribal person. I'm getting out of here.
You'll be on later, though, right?
I'm getting more and more tired of this metaverse day by day.
I hear you. Yeah, you've been on longer than me. I just got on, so I'm fresh. But if you're on later, I'll try to pop on. try to be on late if you can. I'm not gonna ask for anything, but if it's in your if you feel inspired to stay on, it'll be for a reason. I'll come back on.
So what do you want to do this tonight, man? You keep saying this. Just fucking get it over with.
Well, no, you understand. I'm going there with a purpose, and I'm just going to be there. So I might as well play while I'm there, if you know what I mean.
Right. So
I don't like to. Otherwise, listen. If I'm not doing it
at 5:30, man, make a decision. Be a man of action.
no, I'm not going to be there till 11:30 our time here, Eastern time.
Oh yeah, no, I'm going to be long out of here.
Or I could just go early and do it then. So you know what? I'll play it by ear. I'll check out the broadcast. I'm going to come on your side. I ain't going on Talcott's, but let him see it, because I have a feeling if he's watching, it'll be even better. But that's, it's not about that. It's just about.
All right, well, you have my information. You have my Facebook. You have Instagram.
I don't do Facebook. I do email, and I could give you other contacts, but email is how I've contacted you, Paul. You know that. You check the emails anymore?
Yeah, it's just that I don't get any alerts for that. So, okay. I'll set a fucking... If you tell me you're going to do something and we come on, then I'll just set an alarm and I'll come on and do it with you, and then I'll just end it when we're done.
All right. Well, I hate to say alarm, because I'm going to go scope out. I'm going to survey beforehand, and if it's all good.
Bye.
Come on. All right, listen. You check your emails, right? Do you have anything besides Gmail?
I barely check them from time to time.
Do you have, if you'd be able to send me a different email besides a Gmail to contact you with?
That's not going to help. It's all the same kind of thing. I'm not.
No, Gmail's an open postcard. Everybody sees Gmail. There's nothing private in Gmail.
What are you hiding? Are you going to send me naked pictures now?
No, just, correspondence. It's private correspondence. Should be private as possible. But yeah, either way, it's fine by me. I'm just saying it's, if there was something where we want to have any kind of more private of communications, I wouldn't advise using Gmail.
Dude, just tell me when you're fucking going to be going to do this, and then plan on doing it, and we'll do it. I'm here.
All right.
Got Talcott time.
So maybe around 9:30 then. That's 2 hours from now.
2 hours from now? What time
my
is it
time.
there?
I'm Eastern, right? I'm Eastern.
Isn't it 6:30 there?
7:30.
Okay.
We were on daylight savings time in Florida. We love the sunshine.
All right, just come over to Talcott's, man. It's an hour from now, and then a half an hour in. You'll know within the next half hour what you're gonna do. So I'll probably hang out for an hour or so on his shit.
Okay. All right. So I'll make a grand exception and actually make an appearance and comments over there. Should I need to get your attention if you're not online on your own panel, and we'll have some fun. Otherwise, there's always other opportunities. Again, it has to feel right, because I don't know what I'm doing.
All right.
On that, Paul, it was great. Thanks for having me up here at the end. Get those final words in while I could. I don't want to hold you up any longer, so I'm going to get out of here.
All right. I'll see you later. All right, folks. Another one in the books. Official broadcast. Official, unofficial broadcast. We will be back. Can't miss the Talcotti one, of course, and the rest of the folks who are going to save the world from itself. So about an hour. Oh, come on. I'll probably restream it just for the hell of it. I know. I get it. Some folks love Talcott implicitly, objectively. Some folks can't stand him. I'm sure about a third of the audience from the beginning has checked out completely and never coming back here because they can't believe that I would waste my time, energy, attention, and what they perceive as my intelligence with folks like Talcott and the rest. And again, I guess that's been my lifelong form of self-sabotage, is I do what appeals to me and what fascinates me, and I go where my heart is centered. So, I've made I've made no false claims about the idea that I care for Jack. I care for all beings. I see the good in all beings. I also see the shortcomings and the insane looping in myself as well, right? There's some of these criticisms, all criticisms are self-criticisms to some degree. So I could see some of these patterns and habits playing out in everybody's life. He's just maybe an extreme example of some of them or a lot of them. That's fine. I don't have any personalization with any of it, other than, like I said, I'm fascinated by his walk. I'm fascinated by his character on the world stage. I'm fascinated by his presentment and the juxtaposition at times of the way he delivers the message and how it's received. The whole thing is a tragic comedy that I've been a part of for months. So I'm living essentially in a movie on the metaverse, the beautiful mind of Jack. Some kind of a Talcott show instead of Truman, the Talcott show. So, yeah, go get your favorite refreshment and snack from the cold box and wherever else you retrieve it from, some form of box, cold or otherwise. And we shall reconvene about an hour from now at the channel of the Talcottian one and or here. Matter of fact, here, I think I will just restream it here. Folks if they're going to watch Talcott, they always beg me, like, hey, we're going to watch Talcott. Could you just restream so we could, like, chat together at least? We could have something. Can you not take it all away from us? And I go, okay, I'm a magnanimous man because, I'd almost rather just go over there and not restream it sometimes. But folks want to chat and hang out and post comments, insulting everyone on the other side, and then have me highlight them in between talking. So I get it. All right, I'm out of here. I love you folks. I appreciate all that you do for me in various areas. I know I come across sometimes a bit of abrasive, harsh, vitriolic, lewd, rude, and crude, but I mean well. And I know that a lot of you see that. So it feels good at times to be understood by some folks at some times, some places, for them to see my heart like I believe the Creator sees my heart, despite my less than tactful presentment at times. So with that, I shall be going now, but I shall return. Official Talcottian sign off. That's part of my obsession, like the tribal person says. That I live vicariously almost through Talcott. While he's living through me, I'm living through him. He's become part of my character aspect persona. He's a mask. I just use him and I put him on like a mask and I get to play out as a Talcottian one. So official Talcottian sign off as we've continued with the trend. And as I encourage all broadcasters to sign off this way. Thank you, brothers and sisters. Much love.